On this episode of the DTVC podcast, Ty from Comeuppance is on for his monthly hit as we look at two from Xumo or Xumo, however you want to say it. We've got Taken from Rio Bravo and we've got 12 to Midnight. So that's a fun combination there, so stay tuned for that. Then next week, Mitch from the Video Vacuum is back on for a special episode. We're going to be looking at Space Mutiny. So, a little bit of conversation about Reb Brown, a little bit of conversation about MST3K, and then, we get in on that Space Mutiny classic. We watched the non-MST3K version of it for the conversation, but there's a lot of conversation about the jokes as well, so definitely check that out. And then in terms of DTVC Extra, recently released the Thunderbolts episode. I was a little late on it. I had some issues with the audio quality to try to get it exactly how I wanted it to, but also just recording, I fell behind over the weekend, but we did get it out Sunday night. You can check out that Thunderbolts DTVC Extra episode. Again, with Thunderbolt, with those I'm not doing any socials with those. So if you're subscribed, you can check it out. If not, otherwise, you may have missed it. But that's available as well. Not sure when we would do another DTVC Extra. My hunch is it'll probably be sometime. Maybe I'll try to do those Nicolas Cage movies. I'll see what if that ends up happening. I'm kind of movied out. I've done quite a few in the past week or so. So I may take a break, but I know, which is funny. I say I may take a break when I have a site that covers movies, but I have a lot of movies in the can that I could review. So I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But with the DTVC Extra, as always, watch the space. And again, I've talked about maybe doing a Patreon and putting the DTVC Extras on there. That's another possibility as well. So we'll see what happens there. And then in terms of the site, we just posted right under the wire late Sunday night. So I just barely got it in on the weekend. We did Invasion Force, which was one that we did on episode 191, I believe it was, with Chris the Brain Kavinsky from Bulletproof Action. Finally got the review up for that as well. So finally got a little more AIP, a little more Richard Lynch. Also finally tagged David Shark Freilich. So that's there as well. So in terms of what's coming this week, I think next up on the list is Lights Out. That might be what I end up doing. I also want to try to do not Paradise City, Savage Salvation, just because we got to get a 50 club post for Cole S. McKay, and he was stunt coordinator on Savage Salvation. So if I get a chance to watch that, that'll be what I review this weekend, but we'll see what happens there. Always keep an eye on, again, that Letterboxd upcoming reviews watch, that gives you a sense of what movies could be coming potentially, but as always, sometimes insert ones in there, so keep an eye out for that. I know Jay Horton has a new movie coming out, A Hard Place, so keep an eye out for that. You can see it on his socials. If you're not following him on Instagram, you should. He has really, really great videos on the craft of making movies, but then also he's letting people know about what his upcoming projects are, and A Hard Place is coming out soon. I think it's May 27th it'll be coming out, so I should be getting a review for that up soon. He gave me the screener for that, so keep an eye out for that review. We're trying to get caught up on those screeners there, and so that's the next one in line, so keep an eye out for that as well. And then in terms of other things that I have done recently, so you may have seen John Cross from PM Podcast posting about his interview with Jeff Speakman. So I did record last week with John to do Land of the Free. So speaking of Speakman, right, a Speakman movie there. So we did cover that one, and so that's part of that interview is going to be in the Land of the Free episode. So keep an eye out for that. Also, if you haven't caught it recently, I did A Dangerous Place on the PM Podcast. So that's available as well for you to check out. That was a really, really fun conversation there. As he was saying, we did a lot of riffing as well. So if you're a fan of the riffs, check that out. And then also, too, if you're a fan of the two of us riffing, episode 208 of this podcast, that was kind of the hour and a half or so of just riffing that John and I did that I packaged together into one episode. So check that out as well. I'm trying to decide what to do in the future because, again, a lot of times with John and I, depending on what the situation is, like with the PM Podcast, we don't always do as much riffing. It's more about just, we get in and do the movie. But with my podcast or with his After Movie Diner podcast, a lot of times, like I've said before, we record late at night, and it's almost kind of one of those things where it's like, depending on how much energy we have, sometimes we can just go. And when that happens, there's a lot of quality riffing material there, and it's just a matter of what to do with all of that. Because I think it's worth listening to. It's kind of funny as the two of us kind of go off on different things. So, but anyway, Dangerous Place has some of that in it. So check that out. And again, PM Podcast, you should be checking that out anyway. I mean, that's, again, I think a lot of us that do this kind of stuff, a lot of us that love these kinds of movies, We've been wanting a PM podcast for a long time. John is doing it. He's giving it to us the way we want it to, with a combination of these really great movie conversations and the the interviews that he's getting. Now that he's got Jeff Speakman, another really great one there. So definitely check that podcast out. But again, to take that podcast to the next level, it's going to help for us to rate and review it, is in addition to downloading, streaming, sharing on Facebook, sharing on social media, all of those kinds of things. Because the more visibility that podcast gets, some of those bigger names on PM will be more likely to join on. But also, John can start to do some of the other things that he's thinking about. He's thinking about maybe taking this in the direction of maybe a documentary or something like that. And if we can support it that much, he can definitely go in that direction. So I implore you, PM Entertainment Podcast, it's the podcast we've wanted. He's doing it. So we just got to show our support behind it. Because I think it's one of those things that I'm guilty of this myself. Say, oh, I'd love it if somebody did this or somebody did that. And then when they actually do it, I maybe listen here or there, but I don't get in and rate and review and really put my support behind it the way I should, so that more people, that I finally get that thing that I want, that kind of thing happens. It's funny. Recently there was a podcast that Boston Public Broadcasting did on the lottery. And before that, the one before that, they did the Big Dig. So they kind of do these big, things that are just very Boston, very Massachusetts. And I mean, that lottery one was just so much fun because, a lot of my family's from that area of Massachusetts. And, even that podcast, it's, Massachusetts Public or Boston Public Broadcasting Network, even he was saying hey, rate and review, because it just helps so that we can get the funding and get the backing to do another one of these kinds of things. And so it really is. If you have podcasts that you like, even if you think that they don't care, if they even like one like that's a really big deal, it really helps the podcast. It's a really great way to support it. It's the way that the algorithms work in terms of how they boost things, because a lot of podcasts have the same amount of views or streams or downloads. So then those ratings and reviews, they kind of push things up in the visibility. So it really helps that way. So I always really appreciate that. Now the next thing I wanted to get into just before we get into the podcast, speaking of DTVC Extra, I got a little spoiler for Daredevil here. So if you don't want to hear this spoiler, the only other thing that's coming after the spoiler is me talking about my book. So if you want, you can skip until you hear John Cross from Miscellaneous Plumbing Fixtures playing in our theme song here. But I just wanted to mention that Steve Dunn, who listens to the podcast, he reached out talking about the episode that we did on Daredevil Born Again, and he mentioned the fact that Camar de los Reyes, who plays Hector Ayala, plays the White Tiger in the show, who he's accused of killing a cop. Daredevil / Matt Murdock gets him acquitted of the crime, and then he gets murdered soon after. And Steve let me know, and I hadn't, all the research I was doing for that episode, I missed the fact that the actor passed away. He died in 2023, December of 2023. So, I think that's kind of a big deal, because it probably means that, one, he died in an earlier iteration of Daredevil Born Again. He died after, and so when they maybe wanted to do reshoots and change things up, he wasn't available for that. So that's one way, is to just kill that character off. I think one example of this in the past, I remember, if you think of Highlander, the series, where you had Darius, the monk immortal, who would stay in a monastery all the time, and the actor in real life died of brain cancer, and so they had to create the idea of Watchers, and then that evil offshoot of the Watchers that killed immortals. They created that whole thing around the fact that they had to figure out what to do with the fact that he had passed away and they couldn't use his character anymore. So Steve made a great point that that's probably what happened here, was that they had to kill him off because he died in real life, and they couldn't do the reshoots that they were doing. He wasn't around, and then they could bring the niece in and all of that. But that maybe he would have been a part of, for example, the army that Matt Murdock is gathering at the end. He would have been there for that. He would have been helping Daredevil out with more stuff. So it makes a lot of sense. It still doesn't change the fact that you get all invested in that trial, and then he gets killed off. But unfortunately, it's what happens, right? The real world things happen, and I guess I would take this over what happens in The Sopranos, right? When Olivia, Tony Soprano's mother, the woman who plays Tony Soprano's mother, passes away. They do that weird CGI scene with a weird CGI face on somebody else. At least they didn't do anything like that here. And so unfortunately, very sad that he passed away. He wasn't even that old. He was only 56 years old. And so very, very sad. He died of cancer. So sad that we lost him. He didn't get to see the show come out. But I think in his memory, he does a really great performance. And yeah, I guess that explained why they killed his character off, even if it was a hard thing to take that you invest in all this trial and then they kill the character off anyway. But what are they going to do? They weren't going to do anything else. I mean, I guess you could have gone the whole what was it? The Swordsman, right? Or remember that movie, that Lawrence Lamas movie, The Swordsman, where they made a sequel to it and they just took footage from The Swordsman that they didn't use and then added in a guy with a mask on to play Lamas for the new scenes. I mean, I guess you could have done that too, but they didn't. I think they respected his honor, his memory better doing it this way. So that makes sense there. So if you go back to the Daredevil Born Again one and you hear me talking about that element, that I wasn't a big fan of that, thanks to Steve Dunn, listener of the show. Thank you for his support on listening to the show, but also thank you for letting us know about that. That makes a lot of sense, and that kind of informs that decision there. So again, hopefully nobody who hasn't seen Born Again is listening to this. You were given the spoiler alert. Hopefully you're skipping ahead here, and unfortunately you're missing me talk about my novels, Nadia and Aiden in particular. It's my newest one, which you can find the link to in my podcast description. Pick that up. Again, pick up my books. I always appreciate when someone wants to pick up my books. But without, we're already 11 minutes in, so why don't we stop it here, and we'll have John from After Movie Diner or Miscellaneous Plumbing Fixtures playing our theme song, and then we get back. Ty's going to be on, and we're going to be talking about Taken at Rio Bravo and 12 to Midnight. Also, our spotlight on a fight this week is drawing a blank there. Expendables 3, Stonebanks fighting against Sylvester Stallone. So we're doing the third Expendables end fight scene. So stay tuned for that as well. So again, John playing our theme song. When we come back, Ty from Comeuppance Reviews will be talking about Taken at Rio Bravo, or Taken from Rio Bravo. Welcome back to the DTVC podcast. As always, this is Matt, and I am joined for his maiden voyage on Jitsi. I almost said Gypsy. Don't want to say that. Voyage on Jitsi. Ty from Comeuppance. Welcome back, Ty.
Hey, thanks for having me back on. It's funny you say Gypsy, because we're on Gypsy. We'll have to mention that in a second. But when you said Gypsy, like, wait a second, Electric Gypsy by LA Guns. That's a song.
Right.
Exactly. Gypsy, Electric Gypsy.
Right. Yeah, Gypsy. I never thought it, because that could be a way, because that song, you're not supposed to use the word gypsy anymore. You're supposed to say, Roma, Romani, and Gypsy is a way to get. But see, it is. Yeah, I wonder if they thought about that he was using the name Gypsy. I don't even know where the name comes from. So Gypsy is like a crowdsourced version of Zoom or Skype. That's why it's completely free. But I don't know where they came up with the name for it.
Interesting, because I'm speaking of like jujitsu in a way. But first thing I thought was Electric Gypsy. So
right.
it's like, but I gotta say it's working out well. And you're right. I heard that woman say recording is on.
Right, exactly. Right. That was the thing. Yeah, John got the biggest kick out of that when he was on. It was like it's a very sultry voice, telling you that exactly. Yeah.
I know, if they had like the male version, it'd be like Liam Neeson. It's like the recording is on.
It'd be like, remember GPS? Remember with the old GPS, you could have different voices?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's a springboard for impressions. You got one?
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah. I can't do Liam Neeson. I don't know if I could.
You have a Dolph. You're Dolph. I love
Dolph. Yeah. Don't wait for me. Recording is on.
The recording is on.
Right.
I guess the recording is on.
Right.
So if he did podcasts, he would say that.
Right. Dying is easy. Recording is hard. On. Sorry, on. Yeah.
Dying's easy. Recording is on.
Right. When I try to do your version of the Dolph impression, I end up sounding like Red Sox owner John Henry, but not really like how he sounds, but how like radio hosts in Boston when they make fun of him. That's the voice I do.
That's funny. I think I can do an impression of your impression.
Right.
Which is like, which is like, hell if I know.
Right, right. Yeah. Hell if I know. Right.
Yeah, hell if
Don't
I
wait
know.
for me. Oh, my entire impression just comes from Agent Red. That's just the
Yeah,
opening scene in Agent Red where they're just about to rip off a whole bunch of stuff from Stormcatcher.
yeah, or it's vice versa. But it's
Right.
like,
Right.
I, I think I had a copy of Agent Red. I don't know if I should. I think I got rid of it. It's like, well, maybe I should have it back.
Right.
I mean, like, why am I at the time, it makes sense to get rid of it.
Well, yeah, I have it. So I had pretty much everything from Dolph up to like maybe like One in the Chamber,
Mhm.
something around that time. Yeah, and then I just kind of and ended up, yeah, not. Yeah, I think I got to that point for me just because I'd moved here a couple times in
Mhm.
Philadelphia, and in our new place now we've been here for over almost 10 years now, but like we haven't unpacked a lot of stuff. We just don't. I don't have a lot of places to put things. So
That's interesting because, like, that's when you kind of stop. I'm trying to think
yeah,
when. That's a really good question. I mean, I think I bought skin trade. It's like I guess I just buy them when they're like when I know they're out there for purchase.
yeah,
It's like I know I have skin trade, but it's like
right.
still not online. That Zaslav has blocked that video with the CNN thing. So
Oh, really?
and when I checked it a month ago, like it's still not there. Or I did a bunch of refreshes on a good Wi-Fi source. So
Yeah.
it's like, and you saw it was gone too, right? So it's like,
Right. Yes, I noticed it was gone as well. Yeah. So he's, yeah. It's one of those things. What do you do with something like a Zaslav, right? Yeah.
isn't he in like? Did he get in trouble or he? No, he didn't get in trouble. But he gave himself a pay raise.
Oh,
It's like,
right. That's it. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Well, because all CEOs do that. They give themselves these big pay
that's
raises.
hilarious.
Right.
It's like, I'm gonna give myself a raise. It's like, how about you release the movies that are sitting in your vault? Like, but I guess that Coyote vs. Acme movie is actually getting a release.
That's what I
So
heard. Yes, I saw
that's
that.
something.
Yeah, I think what are they doing now? Yeah, I'm trying to think with that one. They're like they some other company is putting it out.
Yeah, it
So
has a silly name like Ketchup Entertainment. It's like, what's next? Mustard Inc. Or I know we already have,
right,
or Bonded Media, but it's
right.
like Mustard Media.
Mustard media. Yeah, exactly.
Or they should call it Relish. Because that's like relish films. Anything that you
Yes.
put on a hot dog. Just
Yeah,
like,
you like a good relish. That works. Yeah.
it's like I guess they can do anything these days. We can make up any condiment and make it as a film company. Think of like a Shan Tweed thing, spicy films. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm hoping for Tweedster to come to these cons, because like I don't think she does the con circuit. But go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know that she does either. I think she's kind of like somewhat like retired. I think she's kind of semi-retired at this point. I don't know. I know she was doing some stuff in Canada, like some TV
Okay,
shows and stuff like that. But even that was a while ago. I
yeah,
think.
I mean, she can make a lot of money on the con circuit. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, she's married to Gene Simmons, who he
Oh
has
yeah.
so much money from Kiss that I wonder if the two of them are just like, hey, we got plenty of money. Like, I don't need to make movies anymore.
Well, at Terrificon this year, they if I could tell us right, but Billy Zane is supposedly going to be there unless he cancels.
Oh,
And it's
nice,
like
nice.
that's going to be awesome because guess which movie I thought of to bring him.
For Billy Zane, which
Yeah.
one?
Oh, I'll just say it's Danger Zone.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because he's probably going to get the Phantom and Titanic all day,
Right,
and
right.
maybe Twin Peaks, and maybe Sniper.
The Sniper films, that would be another set for him. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that movie where he's got the orange on his nose. What
Final
Final
Kill.
Kill? But yeah, it's a shame that one didn't. I don't think that one ever got a physical release.
No, it did. It did. It's
Oh,
on
did.
Blu-ray somewhere.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
like I can't purchase that because it was a terrible movie, or should I? But that was funny. He had orange on his nose,
Yeah.
and he
Wait,
was weird in another movie. Go ahead.
I was gonna say because right, you got to pay to get him to sign something, so then you're laying out
Yes,
money on top of that for the Blu-ray. So
exactly. Because I'm not sure its prices yet, but from rumor has it, it's probably between 40 and 60. So
yeah,
I don't want go too nuts unless he's he thinks that Danger Zone is funny. He might I might bring another Billy Zane, and we'll see.
right. Yeah, that
That's how
sounds
it works
good.
with Ashley Lawrence. But it's
Yeah.
when I gave her Felony, and then I gave her another movie, which I can never remember the title, which I remembered this morning, and now I forgot. But
Oh, yeah.
it's Ryan Steiger and Damien Chapa, but it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone. It's
Yeah. You
gone
gotta love,
again. I
gotta
forget
love,
the title.
gotta love good old chaps. Yeah. Well, but
Chaps. Good old chaps with El Padrino. I need to rewatch that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Also, did you ever see El Padrino?
No, I don't think so. I've seen some of Chappa's stuff, but not a lot.
Because it's like he's in that, which is kind of like a Scarface knockoff, but it has Jennifer Tilly, Stacy Keach, Robert Wagner, and a crazy Jerry Busey for a second.
Oh, so that could be good. Yeah.
And Jennifer Tilly plays like a Mexican lady. It's kind of funny. It's like, what the heck is going on?
That sounds awesome.
I know. I got to rewatch it myself. But go ahead. Yes.
No. That also, yeah. So yeah, because yeah. Well, no. What I was going to say is, I guess our films this week we're looking at Taken from Rio Bravo. So we're the sequel to Gunfight at Rio Bravo, and apparently there's a third one coming out as well.
Oh, okay. What's that title?
Well, so I think it's at the end of the movie, right? Didn't they say it was like? What would they say was at the end of the movie? I can't remember.
Yeah, I forget. He's coming back, right?
Yeah, it's something else at Rio Bravo. But according to IMDb, the one that they're going for here is I'm paging down, and it's like Gold of Rio Bravo. Gold.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe he's searching for gold.
That could be. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Or Curly's gold. They found that, right? They found Curly's gold and Steve Slicker's too. I'm not sure, but
I think they did. Yeah, I think
they find Curly's gold. Okay, because I only saw the movie once. I don't remember.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Never made Steve Slicker's 3, huh? But that's okay.
No, I don't think. That's a good point. I don't know that they did. I don't know.
Maybe sequel didn't didn't pan out too well. But you could totally see like its third one. Because Billy Crystal didn't make a lot of sequels.
No, well, because the first one was like an unexpected thing. I mean, Jack Palance wins an Oscar for it. Like nobody knew.
Nuts. It's a stupid comedy, but okay.
Right. Yeah, and so then of course they were just like, well, we got to make it. And so I think that was one of the deals. They just paid them all so much to do the sequel.
I remember there was like 2 laughs from Curly's Gold. I don't remember, but that was a long time ago. So
yeah, I don't think I ever saw Curly's Gold. I mean, I remember I did see the first one. That one was so long ago that I'd have to watch that again.
I think I watched it. It was all right. I mean, it's kind of I think it works better for its time.
Yeah.
I mean, like that comedy, of course, is subjective. So what you think is funny to you.
Right.
It's like, because do the Kevin Smith movies hold up today? I don't know. I thought those were hilarious, but do they hold up now?
No, yeah, I think the original ones did. I mean, I think like Clerks is just
Mallrats. Yeah, I remember like watching Mallrats. Like, oh, this movie's hilarious.
Right. Well, because the problem with Mallrats was that the humor was great for our age group, but like the older, like the boomers and whatnot that were reviewing his movies at that time, they killed it. And so that's when he made Chasing Amy. It was almost like, sorry, everybody hated Mallrats. And I was like, well, not everybody hated Mallrats. It was just the critics didn't really get it because they weren't of that age group.
We're like, Peter Travers is not going to like Mallrats or Gene Shalit or other people, and then some other older movie critics.
Yeah, Roger Ebert at that time, right? Or Gene Siskel for sure wouldn't have liked Mallrats, but
I don't think they liked it. I don't think they like Mallrats. I think they like Clerks. I mean, like,
yeah, they had to like Clerks because that was an indie darling at that time.
I mean, I never saw Clerks 3 because I saw some spoilers. Like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, like, let's give it a rest. I know it's probably hard to think of original ideas. I know, but let's go back to Clerks 3. But Clerks 3, I was annoyed at Clerks 2, but then I watched it, I thought it was somewhat entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I do support Clerks 2. But I don't know, I'm not sure I can support Clerks 3, because now it's just like, no.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. There's also there's a movie he did called Yoga Hosers that was on. I haven't seen that one yet. I heard bad things about that one too, but I'd love to check that one out.
Because I heard in the news, in the hot news today, is that Haley Joel Osment, I think, who's in Yoga Hosers, got arrested.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he got arrested for like drunk and disorderly or something. Jeez. Maybe more. And it's like, and he said some bad stuff while he's being arrested because he was drunk.
Yeah, that can't be a good
slurs
sign.
I cannot say on this very podcast. So, but you can find the bleeped version. That's what I found. I couldn't find the uncut version.
You can swear on this podcast. You just can't. Yeah, you can't. If he's saying racial slurs or gay slurs, things like that, you can't do that. But you can swear.
I try not to. I try to stay clean and try to dance around something more funny. It's like, but he kind of pulled a Mel Gibson, who will be coming back in this very episode.
Right.
Fight scene.
Yes, well, so because our second movie we're going to be doing is 12 to Midnight with Robert Bronzi and Tito Ortiz. So we're getting some Bronzi on here. I think we've been meaning to do Bronzi for a while.
Yeah, Bronzi's back. Wait, what was the other Bronzi we did?
We haven't done Bronzi yet. Because we kept talking about The Gardener, but we never actually we didn't do it on the podcast. We each watched it separately.
Yes, it took forever.
Yeah,
Which,
it was such a weird one because it was like, oh, it's on Tubi, and then I remember
yep.
you messaged me like, hey, it's on Tubi now, and then like 2 days later, then you messaged me again like a day later, hey, they took it off Tubi.
Yeah, I took a screenshot too. I think it was like, this movie's not here right now. There's a picture of Bronzi.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, wait, and the other guy, he's a character actor. He's in it. It's in my notes.
and oh yes, that character actor in 12 to Midnight is because he's a little bit heftier in
A
this,
little
which I
heftier on,
which
the answer to that is
Daniel Roebuck.
Daniel Roebuck. So it's like, oh,
Yeah,
poor Daniel Roebuck. And it's
yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, little beefier there, little thicker around the
Well,
middle. And then, like you mentioned, you teased about Mel Gibson. Our spotlight on
yes.
a fight. We're doing the third Expendables movie. We're doing the Stone Banks Stallone fight at the
Yep.
end, or the Stone Banks Barney Ross fight at the end of Expendables 3. So, for a movie that was sautéed in wrong sauce for the most part, it has a pretty good end fight scene between those two.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, what's funny, once we do that fight and talk about it, we've now done I think we've done all three final fights of Expendables. Well, I didn't see
Exactly.
Expendables 4 yet. I am
Oh,
sitting
you
there.
that's right. You haven't seen it yet. So, yeah, I mean, I think you have to see it just because you have to see it, if that makes sense.
It's in Stars Purgatory. Last I checked, it was Stars Purgatory.
Oh, it probably is. Yeah, yeah.
I haven't checked lately, but I
Yeah.
don't have Stars. My friends who have all these streamers don't have Stars. So
No, nobody I know has it either. Yeah, I did my recent blog post. I did The Island, the Michael J. White movie, and
Oh yeah.
that was on Stars Purgatory. And I did a whole
Yeah.
thing about Stars Purgatory, and
I think it's a funny idea. I mean, like, and the other idea I want to mention, I'll say it on the pod. I'll say it on our pod too, because I had to pick up new material. But it's funny, which is, I was talking about Walking Tall, as you told me today. I was talking about Walking Tall today,
oh right,
Lone Justice, and then autocorrect changed it to Walking Y'all.
walking.
It's like, wait, that's the perfect movie for Reese Witherspoon.
Right.
Walking Y'all.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, yeah.
That's perfect. He wants to support AI, y'all. You know?
Right, exactly.
I don't get AI still. I mean, it's just a computer. I don't know. I don't want to fall into that trap again. But just
No, yeah, AI. So AI, it's just like a whole bunch of algorithms that spit stuff out. I mean, you
exactly.
guys remember, or you remember when I was on your podcast when we did Jeff Fahey, I as a joke, I said, okay, why don't we have AI tell me the top 5 Jeff Fahey directed video movies, and it told me that he played the lead hero in Darkman 3 when he's the bad guy, and so it's like,
wrong.
Right, and it was like one of those things where it's like, oh, if I were on the podcast, like if I just like if I was an imposter or whatever, if like I'm acted like I knew all of these movies and stuff like that, and I went on your show, you guys would have been like, wait a second, no, he's not the. What do you mean he's not the he's not the hero?
No,
and it's like
the Vaz is the hero. He's
right.
Exactly. I guess people call Vaz the Vaz.
Right, exactly. and I don't even know how AI picks that up. What it is AI just sort of indexes the algorithm. It takes your language, what you're asking for, and then it goes through and indexes like millions of, or even billions probably of websites and content on the internet, and then spits out what it thinks is the best answer.
I mean, that's interesting. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, well, here's something funny that it don't need AI. Just ask for Dolph Lundgren in Africa, and then you get female fight squad.
Right.
But it's like not Africa.
Right. No. Right. Because I guess like sweepers and what's oh my god, why am I drawing a blank on the red
Red Scorpion?
Red Scorpion. How did I kept wanting to say Red Dragon. That's the Hannibal, right?
That's a Hannibal sequel of Eddie Norton.
Right.
We'll call him Eddie Norton.
Eddie Norton. Yeah, exactly.
We'll call him Eddie? I don't know. I never heard of
No, Ed, yeah, he goes by Edward. I imagine his friends call him Ed, but you never know. He's yeah. It's funny.
He's straight to video garbage, by the way. If he's not doing it. I mean, that'd be a big get for straight to video garbage. Is that
No, he's staying away. I think he actually did one of Bruce Willis's last. He directed, I think, because he did Motherless Brooklyn, I think.
Right.
And that was one of Bruce Willis's last ones that wasn't DTV.
Was that worth watching? I almost got
I haven't saw it. No, I skipped it because it wasn't direct to video for Willis.
Oh,
I was like,
understandable, but from what I hear, it's like, oh dear. Yeah, but so wait, we're gonna talk about our movies. Oh wait, what have you been watching? And we have kids. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in my case, I finished up the Daredevil Born Again. So yeah, nice. Now you haven't seen it yet, so I want to say too much about it, but I think the D'Onofrio is good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Vanessa. Just like, he's like, Ben Urich, you hurt my mom, Vanessa. It's like, and then he said something else that's funny, like, thank you for coming to my party. Like, the way he says everything is gut busting hilarious to me.
And he is absolutely amazing. Like he's like just every bit that that Wilson. I mean, it's like he's the Wilson Fisk you want.
Because I've seen the first 3, and then I think this weekend, if everything goes well with my buddies, we're gonna finish it up for good.
Oh yeah,
or maybe the first 4. Actually, we watched the first 4 eps.
Yeah.
So there's 9, right?
There's 9, yeah, exactly. And the other thing, of course, is this was teased before, so I'm not giving anything away. But we get Bernthal, we get the Punisher.
Yes, I saw that briefly. Oh, get more Bernthal. Okay, good.
Right, so we get that he gives you what is that sound like, the raw, or what is that sound?
He gives you the raw part.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, he does some raws in there.
Yes, and so, I love that.
Raw. Yeah, exactly. Raw. Yeah,
like, you don't have these weird noises. If you think about it, you got Wilson Fisk getting the way he talks.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny. Red. It's just like red.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say no. It's definitely like if you're waiting, you watch the first 3 seasons, you like the first 3 seasons, you're like, okay, what is Disney going to do to this? They don't mess with it, like they give you. This is a nice 4th season. I mean, yes, it's too bad that it came so far after the 3rd season. Yeah. But it's definitely worth it. It's worth it for all that. I mean, it would be nice at this stage. One of the things I was reading about was why they did a TV show and not a movie for Daredevil when they got the rights back. And I guess part of it was the R-rated thing. With Marvel, they didn't want to do. The MCU didn't want to do an R-rated movie. But the other thing, I guess, is that Marvel doesn't like to do $25 to $50 million movies. They want to do these big blockbusters that earn like $750 million to $1 billion, and they didn't see Daredevil, as a street level a movie. They want, you got to do something big for that. So that's why they did the TV show. It's kind of an interesting concept, because I think for us, right, for what we do, we would love like a direct to Hulu or directed to Disney Plus like $50 million movie, but that's just they don't see
amazing.
That. Yeah.
Well, we can always go back to the classic Stand By Ben Affleck as Daredevil.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, soundtrack by 5 songs by Evanescence. It's like, right. I mean, that's what Electra Nachos was, training to. I know it sounds like nachos, but it's not. But it's very close.
My friends and I, when we saw that Daredevil, the movie, the Ben Affleck movie, we saw it in the theater, and we just kept calling her Electra Nachos the whole time. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it was
Electric Nachos.
I remember us laughing hysterically when I don't know if I'm giving away the end of Daredevil for people, because obviously he fights the Kingpin played by Michael Clark Duncan at the end. You have to expect that, But there's a scene where he breaks his knees.
Yes, I remember that.
And Michael Clark. Yeah, so like you said, yeah, when he let out that big yell in the theater, we all burst out laughing. And I've got to see that again, because actually Disney Plus has them both now. It has Daredevil and Electra. So yeah, and I haven't seen either in a long time.
Electra about 2 years ago.
Okay, so you've seen it more recently.
Watchable enough.
Yeah, because it was on Max, right, for a little while too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's the thing about I think I took a screenshot of Terrence Stamp, because as Stick in that, because it made me laugh. Yeah. He was doing like his best James Brolin impression. Right. The way he looks, it's really fun. I'll send it to you later.
Right.
It's really funny. It's like, oh, that was funny. And the movie it's a movie. Right. I mean, like, it's definitely a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with it is like you have so many cool characters that could have been used there. I mean, like Typhoid Mary in the comics is really cool, and then they're just like, well, no, let's just not use the cool version of Typhoid. Let's just make up our own version of Typhoid Mary. It's like, but why? Why did you need to do that? Like, and Natasha Malta is great. She would have been perfect as the Typhoid Mary that's in the comic books, but. Yeah, it's in that sense, it's kind of weird. It's a weird one, but they just these that was kind of the classic bad comic book movie in that sense, where you take the source material and just make it fugazi.
Well, they always do that these days, and they're doing it slowly now. Well, what's the deal with Thunderbolt? All I know is that Elaine is, or Julia Louis-Dreyfus is in it, right?
Right, and she had said that she would never do a comic book movie. So this has got to be
Oh, really?
something interesting if she's doing a comic book movie.
I think is she just like doing a bunch of exposition or something? I only saw a quick ad.
So
I
she's
saw
like, in DC they have the Suicide Squad, and they have like Amanda
right.
Waller. She's like that version of Amanda
Oh,
Waller.
okay.
So, and I don't know how much the Thunderbolts like rip off, because that's the thing with Marvel and DC's. They're always ripping each other off. I mean, like Deadpool's the obvious one, right? Because he's Deathstroke. He's even his name,
Right. That's
Wade
more of
Wilson
it.
and Slade Wilson. Yeah.
Right. That's done in a humorous way, I assume. It's
Right,
like,
right, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a whole. It was like all part of the joke from Rob
Mm,
Liefeld when he
mm.
created the characters. He was yeah, it was all joke there. But but yeah, I wonder because yeah, Thunderbolts if that's ripping off Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad is ripping off. Yeah, I think it's probably that. I think they just made their own version of it.
See,
But
that would be interesting to kind of skewer the Suicide Squad movie
yeah,
in Thunderbolt. If they're going to do that, that'd be kind of funny.
oh
Like
yeah,
if they get like have some of the same characters, not like Harley Quinn. It'd be like Barley Min. And it's like
right, yes.
it's like oh Barley Min. Okay, that's
Right,
like
exactly. Yeah, it should be. I don't know. Like I'm so I haven't seen. Have you seen the Brave New Captain America Brave New World
I
yet?
have
Or
not seen that
no?
yet because it hasn't hit any streamers. If it's unless it
Right.
hit the streamers.
No, it
But I think it just
hasn't.
came out.
I think it's just rent on streamer right
Oh, the
now.
right
So it's
on
like, what is that?
streamers.
Is that like that $20 rent thing?
You're on Amazon because you can just go on like 20 buy $20. No, I'm not spending $20.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna wait. Yeah. So I have some catching up to do with like older Marvel. Like I haven't done Falcon and Winter Soldier yet. I feel like I probably should do that because they both are probably covering things in that. But I don't know. It's yeah. The Marvel thing. It's like
Do
it
homework.
yeah. There's like so much stuff out there. It's like yeah. Sometimes you kind of just you skip the homework and just get a C. Like that's the best way to
Yeah,
think of it. It's like you
that's a
watch the
good
movie
point.
and get as much of it as you can, and then. But I know, like for me, I finally watched Phase 3 like in release order, and I had skipped a bunch of movies before I saw.
Okay, which
In,
ones are those? I don't remember.
so Phase 3 are the ones like so it's Infinity War and Endgame. But
Mhm.
then it's like Captain America: Civil War, which I hadn't seen yet. So when I'm watching, I watched Infinity War well before I saw Civil War. So
Mhm.
it's like I'm watching Infinity War, and they're like, yeah, Cap and Iron Man aren't getting along, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. They aren't getting along. Well, hopefully they you know, and it's like Civil War explains why they're not getting along. It's like
Right. You got to go in order, I guess.
yeah. Yeah. It's so, but it's like, again, like when I watched it the first time without having seen the other movie, it was like, I got a C, I got like a
Right.
C's enough. But if you watch everything, you can get an A. That's really what it is. It's like, so it's like, I don't mind a C. A good 80 isn't bad. So yeah.
Hopefully this is good. I know I'm seeing much. It's not like it's on ad for when I went to see a working man. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
and, it's classic Statham. It's like a beekeeper. It's like
Beekeeper.
the same movie as the beekeeper.
Yeah.
But it really is almost the same movie. It's kind of ridiculous. It's just like,
Well, that was the thing. I wanted to see Working Man, but it was only showing at 10 p.m. here in
a little
Philadelphia. So
late.
I couldn't. There's no way I could go see it when it's only because we don't have a movie theater close enough. And taking the
Mm.
subway that late at night, or I mean, having to shell out for an Uber or something like that just wouldn't work. So
I saw something on the Roku channel when I was on the Roku City. People love Roku City, by the way, but
yeah.
it's like working man, you can get it on Xumo. It's like no,
Oh,
like
maybe. Oh, no,
check your
no.
local streamers because there's something with Working Man on streaming
So I
that's
think
not
what
on
it is I
Amazon.
think Xumo functions like how Plex does, where you can rent movies
Oh, you
and
can
do the
rent
free
it. Okay.
streamers. Yeah. So you got like, and then you got like the movies we're gonna be talking about today that were like Zumo originals, which
Yeah,
essentially
yeah,
they
double Xumo.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah exactly yeah which
I
would
was.
be
I gotta say, I like Xumo.
yeah it wasn't
I'm a.
bad.
It wasn't bad. Ads weren't that intrusive.
No, I mean sometimes they cut off like in the middle of conversations, like somebody was about to say, like there's that scene which we'll talk about in 12 to Midnight. There's a scene where Daniel Roebuck tells he's telling Robert Bronzi he needs to get his shit together. He's like, you need to get your, and then it goes to a commercial, and I was like, well, okay, but then what you do in that kind of case is you do the 10
Yeah,
seconds
I did
back.
the rewind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it gives you the whole thing without that. So, yeah, it's not a bad deal. Yeah, maybe before we get into these, why don't we do what you've been watching lately?
Well, I did a lot of movies recently, but I mean, I did a bunch of Val Kilmer movies.
Yeah.
I'll just do the ones that were probably the more interesting ones, which is Double Identity. Well, I can go in order. I watched Blind Horizon.
Yeah, which I haven't
The-
seen that one yet.
okay, it's kind of interesting. It's a kind of interesting kind of conspiracy thriller. You got Faye Dunaway.
Oh,
Needs a lot more
nice.
Faye Dunaway.
Right.
Is what her character's like. Okay, you have something interesting to say, and then that was interesting. And then I watched Double Identity, which started off pretty well, and it really dragged.
It does.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, this is dragging a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I gave it a pass, I guess. Oh, I did watch The Saint, which is a complete bore fest. Sneaker Pimps, did not save the movie. 6 Underground, as I always talk about that song.
Right.
But it does play in the movie, but you gotta wait a gazillion hours from that. And it's a real snooze. I mean, like, it's a cure for insomnia, The Saint.
Right.
I never just like, wow, I love this is like a bunch of nothing. It usually say it's a bunch of nothing and it ends. It was kind of like Fortress 2, wherever it was my first time. Just a bunch of nothing and it ends. But this was like I was getting kind of tired. And I was like at 7 p.m. I was like, I need to it's just Val Kilmer just putting on a bunch of goofy disguises. People don't know what The Saint is.
Yeah.
And then there's like
mustaches and everything.
And a bunch of mustaches. Well, that's the thing about The Salton Sea, another movie I watched with Val Kilmer. I never ever seen that.
No, I haven't seen that one. I've heard of that one, but I haven't seen it.
Well, see, the thing it's a lot of wacky characters, including Vincent D'Onofrio, and he plays a drug dealer who has no nose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really wacky.
Right. You showed me that picture.
Yeah, it's like I think they forgot to put a plot in, so they smushed the plot in the last like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it was almost like Remington Steele, just a bunch of like nothing. The butler did it, but in this one, like, I won't say who did whatever they were doing in the movie. No spoilers, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, these people did it. It's like, well, if you just kind of sit it up a bit more, instead of just showing a bunch of wacky tweakers, I think you would have had a better movie. It's not a bad movie, but you could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And then I did watch Conspiracy, the one, maybe my favorite one because he's so lazy in it. It's like he's so lazy. Val Kilmer, it's like, where's my friend? It's like he's in this place in Texas or where he went to, New Mexico. Okay. It was like Steven Seagal. Like he was like, and Gary Cole at his best though.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing, right? Is that we talk about these on the skids. We do these on the skid series, and I mean Val Kilmer was one of the first. It's like
Absolutely.
him and Willis, but the difference between the two was that Willis went on the skids and he was kind of starting to have health issues in a different way. I mean, Val Kilmer also was having health issues. We find out that he was dealing with cancer, but it was like, yeah, when he got on the skids, it was a very different. It was almost like he just was like defaulting to his Jim Morrison from the Doors or something like that.
For Conspiracy, absolutely. Yes. He didn't look great. We'll just say that, and then like he didn't care.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I don't know if you watched it recently. First off, it's very prescient for today's times with all this kind of like illegal immigrant stuff.
Oh yes, yeah.
But the director of the movie made Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday.
Oh, nice.
And there's 2 scenes that are like, is Jason killing people right now? It's like Val Kilmer turns into Jason.
Right.
I don't know if you remember, but he just throws a knife in this guy's mouth.
Right.
And it's like, that's Jason.
Yeah.
And then he kills someone who I won't say who kills. You can probably guess who it is. But I think Jason did that. It's just like, so that's why it's like Steven Seagal, because Steven Seagal was Jason on Deadly Ground.
Oh, that's right.
It's like when he slammed that guy's face into the knife and then went over, it's like, wow, you got away with that. But Steven Seagal, I miss Steven Seagal, by the way. We watched The Glimmer Man. I think I told you that, right?
Oh, you were showing me the pictures from that. Yes, I haven't seen that one in forever.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
First of all, it moved like a freaking bullet. Like I blinked, it was over.
Right.
And it's like, what a movie! Because it's so ridiculous. It's like it's comfort food, as you. And I love your joke. You want to say it on the pod?
Oh, my yes, that Seagal's movies, some of those movies, they're like the comfort food. That's like him, the comfort food that he actually eats. It's like a film version of his comfort, right? For us, it's a film version of it, but
he just eats a bunch of popums or poppums, donuts.
Right.
That's what I picture. He's sitting in a kimono and he's eating some poppums.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just comfort food.
No,
Just like I
no,
want
I
you.
thought I had seen Conspiracy. Talking about back to
Oh, I really
Conspiracy,
thought you saw that.
and I haven't seen it yet. No,
Oh
it's
my
a,
goodness.
at least I haven't reviewed it. If I have seen it, I haven't reviewed it. So it is on Tubi. So I should make that. I mean, I need to
Oh
do a
yeah.
movie anyway for in honor of him passing. I haven't.
Conspiracy is a good one because it's like it's kind of weird to watch now.
Yeah,
But like, oh, oops, I gave you some spoilers. But I won't say what happened. I didn't say who died.
right. That's okay. Yeah. No, I
But
mean, even with movies like this, spoilers aren't the
yeah, it's conspiracy.
right, right,
It's like I'm
exactly.
spoiling conspiracy movie came out in 2008. It said,
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's 17 years the movie's been out now. So yeah, I can,
"Wow, I don't like that."
yeah.
It's just like,
But
it feels
yeah, it's
new.
Stage 6 movie. I
Oh,
mean,
Stage
yeah.
Six. They're like the pre-bond it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah, you gotta love Stage 6. So yeah, this looks like a gem. I'll have to
yeah,
do this
check it
one
out.
for my Val Kilmer in memoriam post, which I'm behind on that anyway. So this would be a perfect one to. I mean, it's on Tubi. While it's on Tubi,
Yeah,
you gotta
might as well
take it.
just sneak it in.
Yeah.
It's like I think they have like a Val section right now on Tubi, unless they got rid of that. But
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
in honor of the Val stir. They
Yeah.
didn't put the stir. I just put that. But it's
Right.
like,
Exactly. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
I did watch some other stuff. Well, because did I tell you it's my friend? I think I told you this, right? My friend has a little small TV VCR.
Oh yes, you mentioned that. Yeah.
And I watched a bunch of. Actually, I brought more.
Mhm.
Um, and I brought Atomic Train, the movie with Rob Lowe.
Oh yes, yeah.
It was good. I never ever seen that.
No, I haven't seen that one. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's not bad. A little long, 2 hours and 40 minutes, but it goes by pretty quickly. And I watched 12 Angry Men, the remake. It has George C. Scott
Oh
and
right.
Jack Lemmon, James Gandolfini.
Yes.
Um, it's perfect for the small TV. It has to fit the format, Just like
Right.
it was good. I always liked that.
Yeah.
Michael Michael T. Williamson.
Oh yeah.
He's good in it. He almost steals the movie from George C. Scott because he's like as constant. I can't do George C. Scott impression, but he loves to yell. I always worry about him. Are you okay? It's like don't yell too loud. No. Oh, I always wish he's gonna like just keel over if he starts yelling.
Yeah, he goes for it in those movies. He just,
He does.
yeah, yeah.
And Jack Lemmon. I wish Jack Lemmon did action movies, but I think it's too late, obviously. But I mean, like he could have done something. It's like
Yeah, what was the closest? Was that movie he did with James Garner where they were was that him? They were former presidents, and was that
My
kind
fellow
of
Americans.
actionish?
Yeah, my
Yeah,
fellow Americans. That is an action movie because first off, numerous people get brutally murdered in it. It's
right.
PG-13. I forgot that people really get killed in that. It's like, whoa, this is very serious, but it's more
Right.
so comedy. The,
Yes.
yeah, I need to rewatch My Fellow Americans. People forget that movie is is full of brutal kills.
Right.
People think it's some sort of, and I think it's rated PG-13 for like salty language, which always makes me laugh.
Well,
Like
because there's
that's
no blood in the brutal kills, right? I think that's the thing.
no, but people are getting people are like there's explosions and like I think a couple murders. It's
Yeah.
as violent as I Love Trouble.
Right. Right. Exactly. I Love Trouble's another violent one. What is it? Who's Harry Crumb? Uh,
I haven't
that
seen
was
that in ages.
that one was a violent one for
Yeah.
sure for a John Candy comedy. Yeah,
Oh, really?
80s and 90s, you had some real violent comedies. They added some stuff in those
Yeah,
movies.
that's like or it's like secret action sometimes. Like My Fellow
Yeah,
Americans has secret action. It's like,
right.
it's like I think there might be a helicopter explosion in My
Right.
Fellow Americans.
You might be right.
Because the bad guy from Under Siege 2 is the villain, right? Oh crud! Everett McGill. I should know.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was Steven Seagal's best opponent, right?
Yeah.
It's like not William Forsythe because he got no freaking hits.
No. 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 William
Oh my god,
Forsythe.
he got no hits.
No.
Seagal.
No. No. No.
The guy from Glimmerman got a hit on him.
Yeah.
It's like,
I wonder if people were like after the William Forsythe ones, they're like, Steve, you got to take some hits. People want to see you get hit at the end, you know?
well, what was funny about that one in Glimmerman? Because you got to rewatch Glimmerman, but
Yeah, I need to see it. I need to see a lot of that. That kind of that pre-Patriot like end of the Seagal
yes,
theatrical run. I got to go back and watch a lot of those again. So there's that one, Glimmerman, on Deadly Ground, like that.
oh, got to rewatch that one.
Yeah,
That might be his best movie. I know
yeah,
people say Above the Law is really his best movie, but
right, yeah,
Deadly Ground is his best movie in quotes.
right. Yes, it's one of those kind of best movies. Yeah,
Um, And what's funny, yeah, just I can watch it almost any time
Yeah.
because there's just something wrong with it when you watch it. It's just like
Yeah.
this. It's all off. It's.
Right.
Oh wait, what's the? Did I tell you this already? Or I think I told my friend. Crap, what movie was it? It was 80. I called it ADR the movie. I can't remember what it was. I have to look. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
ADR the
Yeah.
movie. But I don't think it was Glimmer Man. But I did watch Den of Thieves too. Also,
Oh,
Pantera.
yep.
And I now I think of the band. Cowboys in Hell. But
Right.
first time they don't play Pantera in the movie,
Yeah.
and it's a slog. Which I kind of knew. I don't know if you watched Den of Thieves 1.
No, I haven't seen either of them. Yeah. So.
You're not missing much. If you want to stick to Gerard Butler, just stick to Gamer. I know you
Yeah.
haven't seen that yet.
I
Gamer
know.
or
Yeah. I haven't done a lot of Gerard Butler. I gotta get in there and get on some Butler.
I mean, he's on the precipice of straight to video. He's so close.
Yeah.
Because he's gone that route a little bit. But I mean, like I want him to go full Bond it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We need the Bondit Media Capital movie with him, with
Oh.
like John Malkovich in a supporting
Yes.
role.
Oh,
like
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I could totally see that. I could see like Malkovich is like he's the villain, or he just cut back to him on he's looking at screens maybe because Malkovich is pretty good at that.
Right.
It's just like I can't do Malkovich impression, but get me that man.
Right.
I can't think of a name for Dracula right now. Get me to say John Mannix or something, but isn't that character from the old show?
Oh, Mannix. Yeah. Yeah. I almost said Kevin Mannix. Kevin Mannix was the guy who did the weather on one of the Portland, Maine news stations. Yeah. No. Is it Joe Mannix? I just know Mannix, right? Yeah. God, it's horrible. It was played by Mike Connors.
Right, Mike Connors. Yeah.
Yeah. That he was just great. He did some junkers. What was the was it oh, what was the movie that with Matthias Hughes where they're in South America and it's like Fist. Oh, what was it?
Fist of Glory? No. Oh, Fist Fighter.
Was that it? Yeah, the one where it had that actor. I can't think of the actor's name either.
Jorge Rivera.
Jorge Rivera. That's it. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Because I liked Fist Fighter because it's a classic silliness. Supposedly it's a Fist Fighter too, but I don't think it was ever made.
No, right. It's weird when you get those ones that were never made that show up on IMDb. Yeah.
It's like there was supposed to be a Bullet too. It's like with Chad McQueen instead of Mickey Rourke. It's like I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been funny because Bullet 1 is hilariously. Well, I wish that was sillier. Yeah, it's a little bit too serious.
Right.
Yeah, Mickey Rourke is a homie. He's wearing like a hoodie, and it's a little too serious for his liking. But there's some funny parts to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Fist Fighter. That's with
Fist Fighter.
Yeah, Mike Connors is
Reinhardt.
Mike Connors is the guy who essentially he's the crime boss that has Rhino, Matthias Hughes fighting for him. Yeah, so it was Joe Mannix. I always just knew him as Mannix. Joe Mannix. Yeah, that's
Joe Mannix. His first name was called John Mannix. That could be Dry Butler's name in the Bond movie.
Yeah, exactly.
With John Malkovich. It's like,
interesting. I didn't know that Mike Connors was in Stagecoach, the old.
Is that with John Wayne?
John Wayne. Yeah, exactly. Good old Mike Connors.
I was just looking up Robert Mitchum. I know it's not thinking of like Western actors like that.
Yeah.
Mitchum is just he was like the original Willis. Or the original
he was.
Who else is David Carradine, something like that. Like Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Because if you look at his quotes, which I quote all the time, it's like someone asks, "Oh, what do you look for when you look for a movie role?" Days off. It's like, so why days off? That's hilarious.
Yes.
It's like, so you want to go there, but you don't want to work.
Right. It's one of those things. I mean, it's like I don't want to say. It's like it's for us, like the movies that we like to watch, in a way it makes them more fun when you get actors doing that kind of stuff, and because you're like, it makes it even more fun, I think.
But we try to get to our movies.
Yeah. Well, do you want to? So we'll start with Taken from Rio Bravo.
Yeah, I want to say it with Liam Neeson, like I'm gonna get taken from Rio Bravo.
Right. Yeah, and as you can imagine, it is hacky trafficking stuff. It takes place sometime after the gunfight at Rio Bravo, our heroes are Joe Cornette, who directs it, and Nevsky. They're just hanging out in the town. And
Those are my notes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And two women get kidnapped by traffickers led by what was that guy's James Chalk, which people would recognize. He's a friend of Dolph Lundgren, so he used to do a lot of Dolph movies. James Chalk. He's actually of Indian descent. Then he's playing a Native American who back then would be called an Indian. So which is I don't know why they decided to do that. He didn't need to be a Native American, but either way. Yeah. But he's kidnapped these women, and he's going to traffic them over the border into Mexico. So again, this is like hokey, like Karens on Facebook, like posting about people putting bottles on cars and knocking people out with perfume. They spray at them in back rooms of clubs and stuff like that. It's that kind of stuff. But we do get Nevsky, who's just kind of on. He's making his way to try to intercept them and save these women. And then it's one of those things of like, who is really pulling the strings of these baddies? Who could possibly be pulling the strings of these baddies? And
I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, and when you're looking at the top cast, well, could be Cynthia Rothrock, but spoiler alert, she doesn't really last that long. Could be Don the Dragon Wilson. It could be the number 2 build character, Matthias Hughes.
Yeah, maybe it could be Matthias Hughes.
Right, exactly. So yeah, but fortunately Nevsky saves the day and everybody lives happily ever after. And so that's it. I mean, yeah, Ty, what did you think of Taken from Rio Bravo?
It's a good question.
Right.
Because I guess to me it's kind of a movie on screen. I wish I liked it a bit more, but it's kind of low rent most of the time.
Well, that's the big part of it. Yeah.
We got the Nevsky hero shot.
Yes.
In the beginning.
Yes.
And I was like, where's Matt?
Yeah.
Right. When I was watching, like, that's what we talked about in the first movie, and maybe what's it, Red Prophecies?
Red Prophecies, yeah. And also one of the ones that he did with like Christina Loken or something like that. I don't think I watched the whole thing. I don't
Black Roses or something?
Something like that. Yeah, it's one of those that he had a similar scene like that too. Yeah.
I'm convinced I saw that, but during when we were sitting at home 5 years ago, I might have just watched that and kind of went one eye at the other on that one.
Right. Yeah.
But
Nevsky movies will do that to you. They go in and out. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about that is like Moscow Heat. I guess I have kind of a special hold for that one because I asked for it for Christmas.
Right.
It's like 20 years ago, so. I was like 17, 18 years old, so that ages me. It's like, can I get Moscow Heat for Christmas? Because it looked really cool at the time. Because I had Michael York. I didn't know who Nevsky was. I only knew Michael York and Joanna Pacula and Adrian Paul.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. It's like, and then it was just a kind of a dumb movie. But these newer movies, I guess, what's the one? Showdown in Manila?
Showdown in Manila. So that's right. That's the one where he just sort of stuffs a whole bunch of people in at the end on a raft.
Yeah, that was funny. You had Oliver Gruner. You have Rothrock and Don the Dragon Wilson on a boat. And that was funny.
Rothrock, just stuff them all on a boat and just ship them back to shore.
That's hilarious. But this movie is kind of just a kind of a weak Western. I will mention Rothrock, who's kind of stood out for the worst reason, really.
Right. Yes.
Because first off, that voice she was doing, it's like some sort of Southern accent.
Yeah.
Like, y'all, what you doing? Don't.
Right, which it's funny because that's, other than the fact that both of these movies are Xumo originals.
Yeah.
The other thing that ties these together is that Tito Ortiz has a funny Southern accent in 12 to Midnight.
He does.
Right, but you almost get the sense when we get into 12 to Midnight that he's doing it kind of, he's hamming it up when he does it. Whereas Cynthia Rothrock is like, no, I'm going in there with this Southern accent, and I mean, she uses dialogue too. That's kind of, I should have written some of the
I think did I write one of her? I think, did you say something? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
They said something called whirly goods.
Yes. Yeah.
And such deviltry.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
She might have said that too.
Yeah, she had some lines there that were just kind of like these awkward constructions that were supposed to make it sound like dated, but it just sounded obnoxious.
I had to say it was getting on my nerves. Like, can you just talk normally? I mean, Rothrock gets a lifetime pass, but this is a weird one. I mean, like, for Rothrock. I mean, like, I liked her in the Last Kumite.
Yes, she was much better there. That was a
Yeah,
much
she
more
was. That
fun
was
role
like
from her.
that's like a role you want to see of Rothrock. And just like
Yeah,
this one is a little odder. I mean, like sometimes she does these odd things.
yeah.
She's in a erotic thriller. The title escapes me. Portrait in Red.
Oh yes, I haven't seen that one yet. I've been meaning to.
It's not a bad movie. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird. It has Lawrence Tierney, and he's kind of wacky in it.
right. Would you get have Lawrence Tierney?
Yeah, here's kind of a wacky.
Right, just like squinting and yelling and crabbing about things. Yeah,
Well, that's the thing about Reservoir Dogs. It's that bit he says is very funny. It's like,
right,
you're Mr. Pink. Well, you're not Mr. You're not gonna be Mr. Black. You're Mr. Pink.
right.
Like the way he says it, it's just funny to me.
Yes,
And
yeah,
he kind of looks like my grandfather, so it also makes it funny. But it's like, well, he's gone now, but he
yeah.
kind of looked like him. Kind of like
Right,
Gene Hackman looks like my uncle. But it's
right,
like, which I tell my cousin that he's like, he just laughs, just like.
right.
And Ed Asner looks like my other grandfather. It's like,
Nice, nice. That's
it's like
awesome.
it's just like, hey, look, it's Grandpa Harold. That's his name. But it's like
Yeah.
he's gone. But it's like, but when I see Ed Asner in something, it's like, oh, look, it's Grandpa Harold. It's like, you have people who look like your family members, celebrities, or anything.
So my dad, when he was younger, looked kind of like Sam Elliott, and
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, my mom said one time they were in a store and somebody was like, "Hey, are you Sam Elliott?" And he was like, "No, I'm not." And I guess it happened when he was younger. It would happen more. Then as they both got older, as Sam Elliott and my dad got older, they stopped looking alike.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but there was a period. So like when I was older, when I was a kid, he was just starting to not look like Sam Elliott. But I think
Okay.
when my mom and my dad, like when they were first dating, when they were a young couple, when I would have been like a baby or like really young, he looked a lot more like Sam Elliott, and people thought that yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, so
That's really funny.
yeah,
And then Nevsky says a lot in the movie. I'm just waiting for my train.
yeah.
Just waiting for my train.
Right.
Like, but see, Rothrock does have a quick fight scene.
Yes.
And I guess, and then also let's go to Don the Dragon.
Yeah.
He has a brief fight scene. He's a Indian.
Right, he's playing Native American for no reason. Like in his case, even more so. But there's no reason for either him or James Chalk to be playing Native Americans because it's like there was plenty of at that time there were a lot of Chinese American or Chinese immigrants that came over to the railroad. I know Wilson's not. I think his dad's family is Japanese. I believe.
He's Japanese, but
yeah,
I mean, like you put some more paint on him, I guess he can look Native American from far away. But I mean,
but it's like he didn't need to be, right? It was like there's nothing about him being Native American that has anything to do with the plot. So it's like, why even bother? Why even bother with it?
And then he has a quick fight scene. I don't think he goes though, if I'm not mistaken. So
no,
I was very disappointed by that.
The closest we get to an is when he dies, right? When he gets shot, he's like flying through the air, and there's like computer generated blood coming out of his chest.
Yeah, that looked like crud.
Yeah,
but okay.
yeah. So I mean, that's the one problem with this is that one of the things that makes a Western really good is good blood squibs and good good like gun effects, and this is like it's essentially just Nevsky pointing his gun in different directions and like computer generated stuff happening all over the place.
I mean, if we could, I know he probably puts these movies on a tight budget, but I think he should really just kind of get the squibs.
Yeah,
I mean, like
or just don't do it that way, right? You've got
that's true.
You've got Art Camacho, who is like one of the best fight choreographers in this. Have him choreograph some really fun fight scenes where
Good point.
And maybe you just use the gun every once in a while, because you can use the gun for things like maybe like the whole like the shot like up close where the guy like you hear the gun go off and then the guy kind of does like the oh and then like then Nevsky backs away and you see the blood coming up from the stomach, that kind of thing.
Right, you could do it that way. You can trick the system a bit.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, about Camacho, I mean, like, would it be cooler if he's not like he's a marshal, Nevsky, but why can he be a martial arts marshal?
Yeah.
It's like
because he invented. Yeah, he took this a real life character, a real life person,
right?
And he turned him into this like thing, kind of because he always says like, after the war, nobody knows what happened to him. No, everybody knows what happened to the guy that it's based on, the John Basil Turchin. He went to Chicago and just grew old with his wife and lived a peaceful life. He didn't travel around. Which the other thing I always get a kick out of is there's no reason to call where they are East Texas. Because it looks like Arizona. East Texas does not look like Arizona. West Texas does, but East Texas, there's no reason to be calling it East Texas. It's like the decisions that they make in this movie make no sense. Yeah.
I know that's what makes the movie just kind of a movie on screen. I hate it. It's just like I wish you have something there, but you're squandering. You have you people. You have Art Camacho, Cynthia, and Don.
Right.
They're all squandered.
Yes. Yeah.
But I understand that you get it, as we said we were talking about it via message. You get it, but you need to utilize them more. That's all. I think that's it.
Yeah, because like for example, there's a lot of the stuff going on with the women who are trafficked and James Chalk or whatever,
Right.
like there's this big long scene of him giving the two like kind of remaining women that he's trafficked, he's giving them water, and the amount of time they take for him to give them water is just like time that we don't need to be wasting.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is that beyond Rothrock and Wilson being wasted, and Matthias Hughes is wasted as well.
Yeah, he was barely in it. And nice to see him.
Right. But, I think Nevsky is wasted too, because in that opening sequence, he get, like you said, he gets his hero shot, he's kind of, but he shoots a whole bunch of people in a bar that are trying to rob the bar.
Yeah.
And he gets some other badass scenes. And it's like, just give him some more badass scenes instead of like wasting all this time with James Chalk, like giving water, or like there's a whole thing about how he wants to take one of the women out back and have sex with her, I guess, before. And,
right. That character. Yeah. This character is just like ridiculous. It's like,
you're wasting our time with this stuff. Like, why we don't need any of it. We don't, it's and again, like all the hokey, like trafficking stuff. Like, I don't even think you need any of the hokey trafficking stuff. Like why are we going to Mexico? Is it just because that's what the women, on Facebook talk about, is people being kidnapped by, Latin Americans in the Hobby Lobby parking lot and taking them to Mexico? Is that why you got to use Mexico? Because we don't need Mexico.
Because I can't tell if Nevsky likes Trump or something. It's like I couldn't tell. Remember in Red Prophecies, you couldn't tell.
Right. Yes. Well, because the other thing is the character that he's playing, this John Turchin character. The thinking is they don't know exactly why he and his wife, because he had a prominent military career in Russia. They don't know exactly why he moved to America, but they think it's because he was coming out against the Tsar and serfdom, and that when he got to America, he was actually helping runaway slaves escape. Like he was part of the underground. I don't know if he's part of the Underground Railroad, but he was helping He was helping enslaved people escape. And so that would be completely antithetical to to Putin, to Trump, and all that. But Nevsky might not even know that. He might not know. But you're right. Like we don't know what that. It's possible that he's using this character as a way to say that he, because the other thing too, I guess we should say about Nevsky is that he can't really come out against Putin because he's a Russian citizen.
Yeah, he can't.
Happen to you. You don't want to suddenly get that radioactive poison when you're.
We're trying to drink his tea. It's
right, like, exactly.
Like, I just got an isotope. It's like
exactly.
That's what he would say. That's what he would say. He had some isotopes.
Right.
It's
yeah.
Right, he's so wooden. I can't even do it.
I've got an isotope. Right, like everybody else is acting around him, Olivia Gritter.
Well, that's like Nevsky. I also think he should probably go take a break from the westerns. My personal opinion. I mean, like he's now just gonna be his third one for gold for Rio Bravo. They could do something else. I mean, maybe Xumo pays him a bunch of money. Just like, I mean, if I was Xumo, I guess I'd give some money to Nevsky. But he always, but the one stipulation is utilize your people more.
Yeah. Well, do you think that the reason why he's doing these westerns is that he got access to this western set in Arizona?
Yes, 100%. And he's
like, how many movies can I make with the set?
I know. It'd be so funny. It's kind of like what Roger Corman does, or like Jim Wynorski, or those people, Farrell and Ray. Exactly. They like 5 movies a day just on one set. It's like, it'd be funny if we had stock footage also. Dude, he should become the new Jim Wynorski, Farrell and Ray, Nevsky. It'd be funny to have some random Eric Roberts footage. From like Red Prophecies. Look at John. What was his name? It was like John Mean. What was his name in that? Eric Roberts. It was like.
That's a good point. Oh, what was that? Yeah.
It was like a funny name. It's like. I don't think it was John Mean, but
John Payne. John Payne.
John Payne. That was it. Thank you.
Right,
John Payne. God, it looked like he was talking, but it was kind of not talking. Red Prophecies is a weird movie. It's like
everybody was dubbed, right?
Because it's all dubbed.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
did it as part of our Casper Van Dien double feature,
Yeah.
and it's like we had the most dangerous game, which was just a total fun time, right? It's just a
Loved it.
complete
Really
romp.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then we get this movie. We get Red Prophecies, where Casper Van Dien is dubbed, Eric Roberts is dubbed, Madsen was dubbed, wasn't
It
he?
was dubbed. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
like and when Eric Roberts died, he cracked up, but
right,
like here we go. And Stephen Baldwin was dubbed.
right,
It's like
exactly. Yes. So yeah,
funny movie. People should watch it because in the beginning it's hilarious.
right.
Like so this movie I can't really recommend unless you are a Nevsky completist. It's just
Right.
like
Or, like even I think if you're like Rothrock or
yeah,
Wilson completist, like if you've
yeah.
seen them, everything else at this point, you should just do it. Just
Just
bite the
might as
bullet and do
well.
it. But
You
I mean,
know.
between the two of them, between Wilson and Rothrock, they've got a lot of rough ones in their recent bios.
That is
And
true. I'm hoping Black Creek is good for Rothrock because he's been pushing that for a few years now.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, I hear a horn.
Yes,
Is your
yeah,
ride ready?
yeah, my right. Yeah, exactly. Someone's beeping outside. Yes, yeah. I don't know if you see this. Probably you see this in Connecticut too, especially with people coming from drivers from New York or whatever. But yeah, here in Philadelphia, it's like the horn. There's a
Mhm.
sense that the horn does a lot of work that it really doesn't do. I think it's maybe for the drivers themselves; they feel better honking the horn. But
Mm.
yeah, we get a lot of horn here.
Yeah, you're heavy on the horn.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, the other thing is we have a charter school, which now at this point when we're recording that charter school's gone out. There's
right.
like a elementary school near us, and the parents there's no school bus for these kids, so it's all parents, and they kind of just stake their cars out, like they kind of like all hang out in all these different places nearby. One of the funny things is they opened a Dunkin' Donuts near us, and the community here they didn't want to open the Dunkin' Donuts because they're like, oh, with the charter school, like it's just going to make traffic even worse. No, the parents overrun the Dunkin' Donuts as well. They just park all their cars in the Dunkin'
That's
Donuts and everything. And
hilarious.
yeah, so they just take over the whole area and then pick up their kids. And it's just like it's a lot of honking and beeping and yeah. And
Wow, that's a lot. That's unfortunate. It's like,
yeah, I saw a parent one time. So there's where my street is. It's a cross street between Broad and this parent. What they did is they pulled into the turning lane, right? And they they parked there for the red light at the turning lane, ran and got their kid and got back in their car before the light changed.
wow. It's like, get in the car now.
Exactly. It's
Little
like
Timmy, get in the car now.
yeah, stuff you see in Philadelphia. It's like the streets were not designed well. So anyway, that's why we're hearing beeping. Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah, I live near an old folks' home, so there's a lot of ambulances here and there.
oh yes,
So you might hear one today, but not right now, I guess.
yeah.
Or you might hear a police car. You never know.
Yeah, you
It's
get
like
that. Well, we live
motorcycle.
near the fire department too, so we hear we get a
Oh,
lot of ambulances and fire trucks too. So
yeah, we're kind of near their fire department too. Just or a motorcycle. Sons of Anarchy. Just
yes,
like
right. Yes, get those too. Exactly.
gotta get
Those
those
sons of
Sons of Anarchy driving by.
right. Yes, yeah, we get that too. Or we get the dirt bike guys. That's another thing. Being from Maine, where you don't drive, you don't only ride dirt bikes on dirt, like in the
Right,
woods, or
like you're
whatever.
supposed to.
Yeah, when you see people on a street, I almost got hit by someone riding one on a
Oh,
sidewalk one time. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So,
that's
yeah.
funny you mentioned dirt bikes because I was on Instagram just scrolling as usual, and someone posted a dirt bike kid as Peter Billingsley, which I
Oh,
hear very silly movie. I think it's by the Corman folks. It's like from
yeah.
the '80s or something. Here it's very silly. I think he has like a flying dirt bike or something.
Oh, that could be
It's like a
beautiful though, right?
precursor to the skateboard kid.
Dirt
I never
bike.
seen it, but it looks very silly. And because Peter Billingsley is another stupid movie. Oh great, I forgot the title. Oh, Beverly Hills Brats.
Right.
I've
Yes.
never seen that. It's a very weird movie.
Yes.
Um, so because I think we talked about Peter Billingsley in the last episode.
I
It's
think
like,
we did. Yeah, because he was in something that we did. I think he was like like a small part or something like
yeah,
that.
I was like, oh, Peter Billingsley. Oh, wait, was it? Well, I don't think it was Pursuit. But I think he was like in the. I don't think he was in Pursuit, was he? No,
Was it Fortress or was it? Yeah, it's
he was in something weird. It's like, why are you in
yeah.
this? But
Right.
it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Billingsley.
but because Robbie Rist, another child actor, he's going to be at Terrificon.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Cousin Oliver. So it's probably gonna get. He hasn't made a lot of silly things, unfortunately. No one. I wish people hired him. It's like, wouldn't that be funny?
Oh,
It was like
yeah.
if he was
I
like in
mean,
a PM movie or something.
Yeah, how would you not love like Cousin Oliver and stuff? I'm not seeing Billingsley unless he wrote something, but yeah, it looks like from an acting standpoint, it's funny he did Iron Man and then he reprised his role in Iron Man in Spider-Man Far From Home. So
Oh, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about Billingsley. That must be why.
that might have been. Oh, he
It's
did
like
the LA TV series. That's what we were talking about, I think.
L.A. Oh, wait,
The LA Heat.
CSI?
So, no,
Oh, L.A.
so,
Heat. Yes, L.A. Heat. Yes, Wolf
yeah,
Larson.
some.
Yes,
I think that came up and maybe we were talking about Wolf Larson or something. Who knows?
I
Yeah,
forgot, but
yeah, right. Yeah,
well, we can always talk about Wolf Larson. Clearly his best work is Expect No Mercy.
yes, I think that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's Expect No Mercy and there's Expect to Die, right? So it's
yeah. You
like,
don't want to Expect to Die. I'm kind of I need to buy a copy on tape. I mean, like I'm just kind of sitting on it.
yeah,
It's um, but yeah, that's it for Taken from Rio Bravo. I mean, I guess we're in the same boat.
yeah. It's on Xumo, so you can get it for
Yeah,
free now. But
yeah,
it's like,
free.
yeah, I think it's more for completists. If you've seen everybody else's work and like you want to see more from whoever, that's probably your best bet for this.
That's
I mean,
it.
it's
That's about it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Well,
I can kind of knew from the jump it's not going to be great, but
yeah,
it's like I think Nevsky, but Showdown Tokyo, well, Showdown in Manila, you know,
yeah, because
uh,
Showdown in Manila, it's like it has everybody. It's
hit
I mean you
everyone and he kind of keeps you going. I think it's the Costco's, and
Dacascos,
I think it's Hughes.
Tagawa, Hughes is in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean
and
he's
then yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And go ahead.
Oh, it's Casper Van Dien.
Yeah, exactly. Casper Dean. So
Yeah,
and Maximum Impact. I mean, that's not as good as Showdown in Manila,
yeah.
but just like, did you see Maximum Impact?
No, I was looking it up because I thought maybe I had, but I hadn't. So it's I think that one's on streamers, so that's one I could check out.
Yeah,
It's like 100 minutes, so it's a
it's a
little
little
scary,
long
but
and it's
yeah.
more goofy than really, but it is William Baldwin at his best.
Okay, oh, that's always
That's all I'll say.
good. Yeah, Billy
That's
Baldwin.
you got to watch. I won't say anything else. I think if you read our review on the site, you'll see. But if you watch
Yeah,
William Baldwin, you'll like, interesting, great
yeah.
performance, Will or
Okay,
Billy.
all right, perfect. I have to check that out.
Yeah, you gotta check that out for sure. Because I see Clear Cut went off Peacock, by the way. Speaking of Baldwin's,
Oh,
I like
really?
Baldwin. And at least it went away. I mean, like they've been taking off stuff. I mean, like they just took off that Elizabeth Hurley movie I wanted to see. When it's like it's directed by her son.
Hmm.
The Strictly Confidential, which I hear is kind of a weird movie.
Yeah,
I could buy like a UK import if I wanted to, but like, I just want to wait till it hits the free streamers or a regular DVD. I
yeah,
don't mind doing the UK import, but do I care enough? It's like,
right.
I don't care enough. I don't want to spend. I only do foreign DVDs when I get gift cards for eBay for my
Hmm.
birthday,
Yeah, that's a
just in
good
case.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's how I get all the Art of War, the extra 5 seconds of footage. I'll just wait the 6 months for between my birthday and Christmas.
exactly.
It's like to get that one.
Yeah,
And, Bear
that's
Witness, the other one. And what Angie Everhart needs to come to these conventions. And Tweedster, Everhart. Yeah, I'm hoping the guy who runs Terrificon ports over people from Chiller because I got Michael Madsen at
right.
Chiller.
Yeah.
But he's there. He's going to be there next week.
Oh, nice, nice.
He's going to be April 20th, and Gina Gershon, and of course Keith Cook.
Yeah,
It's like that'd be an amazing movie.
yeah, yeah. With that crew, oh man, yeah,
Wow,
that would be a good one. Yeah,
that'd
for
be
sure.
amazing. I could totally see like Keith Cook. He's like maybe like Madsen's like an evil sheriff or something,
Right, right. Yeah,
and like Gina Gershon's like, well, I guess she'd be the love interest, or maybe the evil sheriff's wife. And then
yeah.
Keith Cook kind of fights like a bunch of baddies or something. I could see this.
All of that would work. Yeah, all of
Yeah,
that. I mean, yeah, Keith Cook. He's another. I mean, you watch China O'Brien. He's just
yeah,
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
But yeah, I guess we can go to our next movie if you
yeah.
like,
So
or you want to go on tomorrow, or go. We'll be
yeah,
right back after a break.
we'll take a break here, and then yeah,
Oh,
we'll come
great!
back, and we'll talk about 12 to midnight. So yeah, we'll be
Can't
back
wait.
into yeah. Check out my newest release, Nadia and Aiden, available now. Told in a unique, dual first person narration style, Nadia and Aiden explores what it means to be American from the standpoint of two kids who grew up in France with an American mother. It also looks at how we define family beyond DNA and blood relations, when life isn't always that simple. You can find Nadia and Aiden on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Kindle Unlimited. The link is in the podcast description. All right, we are back, and the Jitsi woman let us know that we're
Yeah,
recording again.
I know. And the recording is on. I like that. It's fun. I
Yeah,
mean, just said at the beginning of the episode.
yeah.
It's like if we just did the same opening again. But I forgot to mention,
Oh, you
yeah,
these kids, these darn
these,
kids.
these
Yeah,
darn kids. So
yeah,
yeah, these darn kids. They love their Minecraft. I've been always when I do my scrolling. The Minecraft movie came out,
yeah,
which I
yeah.
didn't see. But people love chicken jockey and throwing popcorn at the screen. It's like what? So every time I do my scrolling, chicken jockey, and then I say that 15 times after you do scrolling,
Yeah.
you look at one video and it's 1,000 Jack Black videos and stuff like that. I hear it's a pretty ridiculous movie. I mean, I never ever played Minecraft.
No, my nephew played it, and so I
Mhm.
had it on my phone for a little while, so he could play, like if we were out or something like this.
Mhm.
Now, this is the nephew. This nephew is now he just turned 19.
Oh,
So,
okay,
so,
you
so
still care?
he was like 4 or 5 when he was playing it
Oh,
on
okay,
my phone. So it's been a while since we did that.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like I maybe it's not these darn kids today. It's like with their Minecraft and their you know who else do we make fun of a lot? Oh, Haley Welch. I don't have any
Yeah.
Haley Welch updates. I'll next time on the next episode I'll look for one.
We'll see if we
I
got some
think I think there
crypto.
might be an update. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's something new happening there with her. Yeah. I was trying to think of anything else that I'd seen, from these darn kids
Darn
had
kids
come up.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I think a lot I think with Minecraft or remember I think the best one for now was Frankie Valley.
mhm.
It's like it's like remember when Frankie Valley was lip syncing to something?
Oh, right.
It's like why did I see that 100 times on Instagram?
Yeah.
Like in 1 minute. It was funny though. It's like
Yeah. The Instagram one. Do you ever see this on Instagram where
mm,
like you see a cat video
mm,
and then like 3 weeks later it's the same cat video, but somebody else has like repackaged it on their site?
yes.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know that I want to like it again because I kind of feel like it's chintzy that this person's like just repackaging it. But the cat is still cute, right? It's not like the cat is not cute in the
Exactly.
past 3 weeks. So
That's
it's
how
always a
it gets you.
dilemma.
I know it's like, all right, I'll like it.
Right,
Stupid cat.
exactly. You got to just begrudgingly, like, yeah. Because I will say, there's nothing bad about having the algorithm send you a bunch of cat videos. Like, because it's
Yeah.
like you can go on Instagram, you see the people that you follow, you can like and all that kind of stuff. But it's like in between, if it's cats doing cat stuff, like it's just there's always gonna work.
I know that's how they get you. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, here's a cat talking and goes, rah.
right,
It's like, okay, that was funny.
yeah,
All right, I'll go to the next video. Rah, 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 rah. It's like, all
yeah,
right, that was funny too. All right, next video.
yeah, yeah. It's just cats talking. You just get
The
yeah,
cat's
it's
talking.
yeah.
And then there's some video about chicken jockey, and then there's a video, and then there's like some adult thing for some reason. Then there's another
Right.
cat video, and it's like, what
Yes,
this algorithm?
exactly.
You ever see that? And it's like,
Yeah.
what's with the adult parts? It's like I didn't look up any adult videos on Instagram.
No. Well, yeah, because so that's the other thing too, right? It's like with my phone, with my iPhone, it has the ask app not to track function.
Oh, okay.
So it can't always see what I'm doing, but I still, there's always those conspiracy things. People don't, you never know for sure if the phone is listening, but it does kind of seem like sometimes it's like if I say something, suddenly
Yeah,
like it comes up in the search, it's like I start getting ads
that's
for,
happened. I just
yeah,
have an Ocean State job lot because I
yeah,
go there and I
yeah.
mention it, and then it hears me on the phone. Like I did not. I just mentioned Ocean State job. I don't know if you have that store in Philadelphia.
No, we
But
don't have. I actually, they might have them in South Jersey. I think there's some, but yeah, it's more of a New England. Because like in my hometown, where I grew up, in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, the the Circuit City is an Ocean
Circuit
State
City.
job lot. Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, we used to have Circuit City in North Haven, Connecticut, and it went away years ago. But
yeah. Well, that's the thing. That building sat there for however
yeah,
long, and then
yeah,
Ocean State
forever.
job. So it's like how like Circuit City has that big red plug thing.
Yeah, yeah, nice, very clever.
Yeah, so Ocean State job lot is written on the big plug thing. So
Well, you gotta use what you can use. Yeah, as soon as I see
exactly.
like Blockbuster and like they kind of peeled that off, it's like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. There's a use Reddit. I like to sometimes kind of scroll on Reddit too.
Mhm.
There's a subreddit that I follow called Old Pizza Huts, I think. And
Mm.
it just like shows like what people have, what restaurants have, things that they have turned old Pizza Huts into. So it's like you'll see like a Chinese food restaurant, for example, and it's like instead of the red roof, it's the same roof, but it's painted green. That kind of thing.
We have that here in where I live. It used to be an IHOP, and then it's now
Yes.
an Indian restaurant. So they kind of half use it.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
roof, the blue roof.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, well, you got that free blue roof. You don't do any roofing. It's
Right.
like,
Exactly. Yeah. There's a Chinese buffet, but again back in Portsmouth, it was a Smoky Bones chain restaurant,
mm.
and they just opened up the Chinese food place. So it's like all like kind of these like rustic like big like tree stump like booths and stuff like that. And it's like then they just like put some Chinese lanterns in to make it more Chinese.
That's got to be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should probably go to our next
Well,
exciting movie.
yes. Well, we're getting some Bronzy on here.
Yes, he's back.
And the
I mean, he's back.
the
We're talking about him. He's
right,
on
we haven't.
first time.
This is his first time on us. Now that's our second time with Tito Ortiz. So we have had
Yes,
Tito Ortiz. And also
from
Sadie Katz, who is in this. She was in the what was the Hector Echevarria we did from 2013.
Rage or Cage of Glory.
Cage of Glory. She was the
Yeah.
girlfriend in Cage of Glory.
That
So
sounds familiar. Yes, yeah. So
yeah,
she's in this, and well,
yeah.
Operation Block Operations.
Right, we
That
get
was
Tito
Tito
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things ever.
Yes. Yeah. And of course the title of this movie, 12 to Midnight, is kind of a bite on, and so they're not just using the fact that Bronzy looks like Bronson.
Yeah.
They're using titles that are similar to Bronson
Yes, I
titles.
love that. So you got Death Kiss instead of
Right.
Death Wish.
Right.
You got 12 to Midnight instead of 10 to Midnight. And there another
Yeah.
one? Oh, Once Upon a Time in the West, like Once Upon a Time in Deadwood.
I think you're right. Yes,
Yeah.
you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish Bronzy sounded like him. Yeah,
I
I wish they
know.
did. You know, it's like,
Well, because he has that thick accent. That's the other reason why they don't have his character talk that much, because he has such and I mean he is Hungarian, and Bronson is of Hungarian descent. So
very interesting. So somehow this guy looks like Charles Bronson. People know who we're talking about. Is Robert Bronzy guy.
right.
It's like, because if you look him up on IMDb, there is no picture of him.
Right. Yeah, you should look at the covers of his movies.
And then you just like laugh. And then there's that line from the first. We can talk about the plot, and we'll get to that line.
Yeah. So the plot is that Bronzy plays a police detective in Pennsylvania.
Oh, his name.
So
his name is Toth from
Toth.
Pocono County.
Yeah, Pocono County, which is up in kind of the, I guess, it's north of where I live. It's in the mountains in Pennsylvania, but it's kind of northeast. It's north. I guess it's just north, but it's a northeast county in Pennsylvania. And they actually shoot there, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, he's a cop on the edge, and his wife was murdered. Nobody knows who murdered the wife, and then we find out that it's werewolf.
Yeah, the werewolf.
Werewolf is murdering the wife, and so now he's got to stop the werewolf. But luckily, because of his Eastern European heritage, he knows from his parents about some of these myths about werewolves, so he knows what he needs to do to take them down. And so, one thing is we don't know who the werewolf is, and they kind of reveal who the werewolf is at the end. There's a couple red herrings that I thought was kind of nice there. But yeah, I mean, overall, Ty, what did you think of 12?
I gotta say, I kind of like this one.
Yes,
because it's so ridiculous, so silly. Yeah. You got Bronzy fighting a werewolf,
right? Yes.
And which Bronson never did.
No, he didn't. No.
Wouldn't that be amazing? They're like fighting a werewolf. It's like it would be like Silent Rage, like right. Chuck Norris, has to destroy the ultimate creation, or it was.
That's right. That's right.
But it's a be Charles Bronson fighting the ultimate creation.
Right. Or even like Death Wish 6 was like werewolves, and he's
wouldn't that be great? It's like, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking like he's got a gun with silver bullets, and he's just like killing werewolves, and
yeah, and it's like the same bullets. It's the same gun he uses at Death Wish as Paul Kersey. It's like fighting werewolves. It's like, like my wife Jill Ireland. She got attacked by a werewolf. Now I have to go get the werewolves. It's like, I know maybe you had an impression too, but
I don't have a Bronson. Your Bronson is fantastic. It's they should have you dub like
Bronzy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. It's like, so I enjoyed this one a lot. I mean, here are my notes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, because he's Toth from Pocono County, it's like I was thought they were going to say Kokomo, so it's like a Beach Boys reference. It's like I wish they said Kokomo. I mean, that'd be amazing. It's like because if I'm not saying it's Kokomo, that's not a real place, right?
I don't know about but
I
Pokemon.
heard it
Yeah,
was not a real place, Kokomo.
no, I think you're right. I think they made it up for the song.
Yeah, and I thought, wait, maybe it's like Pocono, like Kokomo.
Right.
And then the line from the beginning is, "You look familiar." It's like,
Yes. Yes. Which is great.
and I wish he said, and Bron's like, "I get that a lot," but he just
Yeah.
says, "Oh, I can't even do it. I can't even do
No.
the impression." But it's like, I get that a lot. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
he's so wooden. But I said his accent's worse than ever. But I couldn't help but laugh. And I like some of the. There's an actress in this named Juliette Biscotti.
Oh yes. Yeah, who plays
So
the
then he's
daughter?
like, wait a
Plays
second. That
yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, she plays Sadie Katz, who plays the sheriff in another neighboring town. That's her daughter,
Yeah,
Julia Piscotti.
it's like that's funny to me. It's like, wait, so who's the other actors? Emily Puchetta, Tony Bread Rolls, Tim Motstick.
Right, right.
It's like
Or even like even like espresso, right? Because it's like you
espresso.
could dip your biscotti in. Oh my god, because there's the guy that she kind of has a thing for. Peter Voss Davis is the actor. It's character is Peter. Remember they meet on the train. And
Yes,
so if his character was named Espresso, Peter Espresso,
that'd be
um,
amazing.
or as an actor, he's Peter Voss Davis. Yeah, they should have found somebody named Patrick Voss Davis. They should have found somebody named they named Espresso because that would have been perfect if dip my biscotti in your I guess I don't know. Yeah, it's just
It's like, because I guess people could be named after foods. I mean, look
yeah,
at the thing we made up. The food
right.
Expendables.
Yes, yeah.
Kevin Bacon. So Julia Biscotti would be in the sequel.
Oh, with
It's just
John
like
Hamm and yeah, and yeah.
Kevin Bacon, John Hamm, Halle Berry.
She could be John Hamm's
Stephen,
daughter in
perfect.
the movie.
Stephen
Yeah,
Curry.
Stephen Curry. Right, exactly.
There's other names, but that's the one I can think of the top of my head. But it's like,
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about that is he has a teammate named Draymond Green. So if they're next to each other, they're Green Curry. So
that's brilliant. I love it.
yes, yeah.
You can't get any better than that.
No.
And then I guess we're gonna have to talk about Daniel Roebuck.
Yes.
He plays the chief.
Yeah.
First he does say gun and badge, or says badge and gun now.
Yes.
Which is
Right.
great.
Oh, they get it out of the way. Which is
Yeah.
such a beautiful. It's like you said. There's so much like fun and over the topness in this movie, and that's like one of them right there. It's almost like
Yeah.
Roebuck is almost like he's almost doing it like I just got to get. I'm getting it out of the way. But he
Yeah.
also he does it more than once. That's the other funny thing. He's like there's a couple times where he's like, "Give me your gun. Give me your."
It's like what's really funny, and then like I feel he's not looking great. Daniel
No.
Roebuck. It's like I kind of got a little worried about him, kind of like George C. Scott, 12 Angry Men. But it's like, I mean, sir, you need to be careful of what you're doing with
Yeah. You're
your
not a
weight.
young guy anymore.
No, he's
He
an old
actually
man.
he actually puts his birth year on his IMDb. He's born in '63, so he's
Oh
going to be
goodness.
62 years old this year. Each year it can, yeah, you got, it's harder to lose the weight when you get that.
Yeah, he might have
Yeah.
to use that semaglutide. People love so much. These
Yes,
subjects and these Zepbounds and the other
right,
one. What's the other one people
exactly.
use?
God, Wegovy is one, I
Wegovy.
think.
That's it.
Yeah, I heard like if you don't like doctors don't know how to prescribe them, so they could I was reading an article about somebody who like there was overprescribed and they lost their gallbladder. They had to have their
Oh God.
gallbladder taken out.
Oh
like,
dear. That's why there are side effects to these semaglutide GLP-1s. I
yes,
hear about these all day on Instagram. Like, this is what you do for GLP-1 semaglutide. It's like,
right,
it's like,
exactly.
yes. How about you just try to lose the weight naturally, as otherwise noted? But
Right,
it's like, but
right.
it's like, I think it's if you have an issue, fine, use your semaglutide. But
Right.
it's like, but if not, come on.
Yes. No. Right. Exactly. If you're on Real Housewives of New Jersey and you need to lose weight, find another way to do it. You don't need to be taking Wegovy. Yeah.
Yeah, don't take Wegovy because I think it's just going to hurt you in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Roebuck, I mean, he might need to use those if
He
he
might.
can. I hope he can. I hope he feels better. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he sees himself in this movie and goes, "Boy, yeah, he's
Yeah.
we don't know. I don't know what his family situation is, but if you got kids, your wife and kids or whatever, you gotta, yeah.
Be careful. I mean, I lost the weight. I mean, because I saw a picture of myself with Ashley Lawrence, like, oh, I look like garbage. So I lost the 50 pounds I needed to do.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yes.
thanks.
Congratulations. I've got to do it because the big thing for me is my pants aren't fitting and I don't want to have to buy new pants. So I've got
That's the thing.
yeah.
So that's why I understand that. I understand that. It's like, okay, then I'll send you a picture of my new self. I look basically, I don't look basically
Nice.
the same, but it's classic body dysmorphia. That's a whole other thing. But it's
No.
like
But it's a but it's a health thing too.
it's a
It's
health thing. I have to be healthy. I'm getting older.
yeah, it's and it is also. I mean, I guess Daniel Roebuck, he can just do another movie and buy new pants. But like for me, it's like I'm like, oh man, do I want to buy? I've got pants that are a good. I've got pants that are perfectly wearable, but if they're not, I gotta fit into them. So it's like,
Right. That's what gets
yeah,
scary. And then you only wear like 2 shirts, and it's like, okay,
right,
I got to make a
yeah.
difference.
Well, this is the other
So
thing too. Getting older, like I do all extra larges now for T-shirts because
mhm.
it's like I like the roominess of them. But you're right, like it doesn't, it kind of allows you to put on, it's like that,
Right. That's like it's like not an excuse, but I mean, like
right,
it gives you a way into gaining extra weight.
right,
Like, oh, I can
exactly,
fit into my extra large, no problem. Like,
yeah. Yeah, because
like you're all,
I like a good roomy
yeah,
T-shirt, but because at this age too, I don't need to be like I don't have like a tight form fitting T-shirt anymore. I'm not like going out to nightclubs and not that I ever did. I was really going to clubs anyway, but I'm just I have no I don't need to like
right.
show off like, oh, look at me, I can fit into this medium or something like that. But then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, with the jeans, it's like, yeah, I've got perfectly good pairs of jeans and pants like khakis that just they're just tight, and it's like, well, I could lose some weight and fit into them or buy all new pants, and it's like, save me some money if I can fit into the eventually
Right,
fit into
saves
them. Yeah,
money in the long run.
yeah,
I mean,
so
no, dieting is hard. I
yeah.
mean, like it sounds like Dolph Lundgren, like dieting is hard.
Right, rock and roll,
Yeah,
yeah.
rock and roll is
Right,
dieting is hard.
right,
But
exactly.
but um, but then once you get here's the thing about dieting for people. Here's some diet advice for people.
Right.
You just have to get through like the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
If you can get through the first 2 weeks without going crazy, you're well on your way.
yeah,
I'd say even a week and a half. I'd say 10 days.
yeah,
Then you're making a difference.
yeah.
So that's how it worked for me. So it's like I just had to get through that tough part.
Well,
But
and the other
but
thing too, and it's difficult about dieting, especially in
yeah,
America. So for our
yeah,
listeners that are abroad,
yeah,
you probably don't experience this as much, but in America, it's like every time you go to the store, it's all like as a checkout, it's all bags of chips and candy.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's right there for the taking. Well, you
chips,
got to buy for it. You got to pay for it, but you
you
can
gotta
take
pay,
it
but
when I'm
but
done.
but but it's like, but it's not like it's a I don't want to say it's there it's no money, but it's pretty cheap. Like $2.50 or whatever for a thing of chips, and you're like, it's not a big bag. It's you can kind of it's
Exactly.
yeah, and then of course, like
Exactly.
the fast food thing. One thing I'm fortunate about with the fast food thing is here in Philadelphia, you really have to kind of walk out of your way to get to the fast food stuff.
Mhm.
Whereas I think like, yeah, like when you're running errands and stuff, you're like, God, do I want to make dinner? I mean, that is something that comes up with my wife and I sometimes. It's like Domino's will give us coupons, and it's
Ah,
like, God, man, do I want to make dinner tonight? Or I can get 50% off on pizzas, and it's like,
I had the great deal. Why you
yeah,
have to take it?
right,
Like
right,
sometimes you're in the mood for these things, which is also that's the thing also about dieting and
yeah,
health. It's
yeah,
everything in moderation is really how you do it. That's the classic
yes,
line.
right,
So you can have McDonald's or whatever, which I like McDonald's. I sound like Trump. I love McDonald's.
right,
Love the
exactly,
Big Mac. Love the
exactly,
Whopper. And that's also Burger
right,
King.
right,
It's just, it's like
yeah,
he just loves all of them, I guess. I
right.
like the triple from Wendy's. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe
Yes.
me, believe me. Great triple. Great
Well,
triple.
yeah.
It's like,
Speaking of somebody who also needs to lose weight, I guess like that his physical said that I guess
oh,
the
it's
way that they
physical.
the way that they said his mass, it is like his body mass and like all of his measurements were essentially they described Alan Richson.
I
That's
think that's hilarious. Well, that meathead.
right. I mean, like Alan Richard is jacked, and it's like they're essentially making it sound like, and if you put Trump next to Alan Richardson, right, he does not look cut and jacked like Alan Richardson, but that's essentially what they describe, like
That's
the way
hilarious.
it's physical. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a funny thing, I guess, but it is one of those things too, right? Like if you're it is sometimes good to have those wake up calls, like you were saying, like your case, we saw the picture of me, like not fitting into jeans that I used to fit
Yeah.
into. It's like a wake up call that, like, yeah, you don't want to be, somebody telling you everything's fine.
Yes, I fell right. That's another great point. I fell
Yeah,
into that when I started this diet, and it's
yeah,
like no, you're fine. You look fine. It's like, no, I don't think so. Do you see the picture of me and Ashley Lawrence?
Right. Well,
It's
because
like,
it's okay for other people to tell you look fine, because it's like, they're it's part of the culture, right? You got to tell
oh yeah,
people, but you're right. Like like, yeah, someone, hopefully if Trump sees a picture, but of course Trump's like almost 80, so I guess at that point it just doesn't matter, right? Like you might as well just eat whatever you're going to eat.
we'll go whatever, do whatever you want. But yeah, if he was Reacher, that'd be kind of funny. It's like, I'm totally Donald Reacher. I get Don Reacher.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
I'm like Tom Cruise and the other guy,
Yes.
Alan Trumpson. I just put everyone's last name with my last name, okay?
Right.
Tom Trump. It's like, it's like
Yeah, I would be surprised if that's who our next president is, Alan Richardson. He decides to run, and people are like, "Yeah, all right, I could go for Alan Richardson. He sounds like he's got a good platform. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I hear Blue Mountain State is a funny program.
yeah."
Alan Richardson
I've
doing
heard
that. I
that
never
too.
got around to it.
I haven't seen it yet either. I had a friend
Yeah.
who watched it and said it was really funny. So,
And he's in the other show. It's kind of hard to find now, but it's called Blood Drive.
oh, I
It was on
remember.
Sci-Fi Network. It was definitely out there. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't make that today.
right.
My
Yes.
goodness. But yeah, my notes for 12 to midnight.
Yes, we got on a
all do
Richardson
a
diet
diet.
tangent. Yeah, we did. Yeah, but for people listening, because a lot of people are in our age, 30s to 40s.
Yep.
It is a reality, unfortunately, for us that
Yeah.
we do. We got to think about these things. It's
We're not
and
unfortunately not getting any younger. We got to be a little bit careful about our health.
yeah,
I mean,
and America is probably the worst for it, because it's hard to walk, and there's just so much temptation everywhere.
oh my
It's like,
goodness, it's like everywhere. I mean, like,
yeah.
well, luckily, at our casino,
Mhm.
we have Mohegan. There's a Krispy Kreme. That's the only way to get it to go to the
Oh yeah,
casino.
yeah.
That's the thing. I don't like, but McDonald's or Wendy's or Taco Bell are right there. It's like, gotta be careful.
Yeah, see,
Or
I'm
Five
fortunate that,
Guys.
yeah, those things are all a little bit too far for me.
Mm-hmm.
And like Krispy Kreme, the only time I ever get to Krispy Kreme, or I ever see a Krispy Kreme, is at Penn Station if I'm on the New Jersey Transit side in New York. So
Don't tell
fortunately,
Chris Christie that.
right?
Like,
I know.
I think he might have visited that station.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
just
sure
like,
he's had that Krispy Kreme. Yeah, I'm sure.
he's got to be careful too. He's kind of looking like Roebuck, but it's
Right?
like, but
Yeah.
besides that, Roebuck. It was nice to see Roebuck in this kind of silly movie. Because isn't he usually like a better material?
Yes. Right. 'Cause, he played Jay Leno, right, in the
Oh,
Jay
that's
Leno
right. Man,
Letterman movie.
yeah, he did play a late shift, right? Treat
Yes.
Williams, and
Yeah.
is is Ivanko's kind of interesting. I mean, like, now he's making some junkers, but he probably just needs to work. But I mean, like, let's see, well, he's in Terrifier 3. Is Terrifier,
Yes.
these movies actually good?
I haven't seen them there, because they're not really my style. Like when I like horror, I like more comedic horror than like over the top, like gruesome horror. But I know
I
some.
can't get into it yet.
Yeah.
I'm not into it yet, but yeah, his career is very interesting. Of course, he's in CSI Miami. Of course, that's
Right. It's got to be on that.
well, everyone should on that. Well, the best episode ever. It's the one with Michael Madsen. It's directed by Rob Zombie. I must have told us already, right?
You've told me about it. I haven't seen it yet. I still need
You
to see
got
it.
It's called L.A. It's like season 7 or 8 or something. Just
Yeah.
watch that episode
Yeah.
because it's amazing. It has everyone from the Rob Zombie family. Well, Madsen should have done more Rob Zombie stuff. That'd be interesting. But you had Madsen, you had Malcolm McDowell, you have Sherry Moon Zombie, of course.
Right.
You have some other people in too. It's like, it's just funny. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
It's such a weird episode. But Dana Roebuck, I mean, right? Yeah, no one is in Halloween. The remake,
Right.
that was Rejects. Right, he's in all these Rob Zombie things.
Yeah.
Wait, is he in the? Wait, is that the episode? Hold on.
I don't.
Great,
Well, yeah,
great
but he did do
podcast.
Halloween too. While you're
I
looking up
like Halloween
one of the things
too.
I forgot. That's right. He had a big part. He did 14 episodes of Nash Bridges. He was Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
Was that character? Yeah.
I do remember that. Yes. Oh yes. My favorite part of Nash Bridges was the great ship sound you hear in every
Yes.
episode.
The horn.
Okay, here comes Nash Bridges and Cheech Marin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. I've been to San Francisco a few times and I've never heard that horn. I don't know.
oh really?
Yeah.
And he must have been waiting for it, right?
I was looking for it. I was on Fisherman's Wharf. I was walking it, near where the water is, and I guess maybe there were some boats that came by and did some horn, but yeah.
Because did you ever get to watch that Nash Bridges TV movie that came out a couple years ago?
No, I still haven't watched that yet. I need to see that.
If that's still around on the streamers or on demand, check it out. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
I would have
definitely.
watched another series.
Yeah.
And that's right, because Dinner Roebuck's and all this great stuff. You got Martial Law, you got Early Edition,
Yeah,
Vengeance Unlimited.
yeah,
You
he's kind
know,
of just done all of them.
he's done all of them, so I guess he just likes to work. But
Yeah,
yes, back to my notes.
yeah,
Okay, so I did like that social media influencer lady.
yes. Oh my God, who was just going to a train station? Like
Yeah,
what?
it's like,
Yeah,
hi
she's not like.
guys.
Right?
It's like Tiffany Melissa on
Yeah,
screen. Her
yes.
fake character.
She was doing the exact Tiffany Melissa. It's funny. I follow there's this YouTube channel that I watch
Sorry.
called Miles in Transit about this kid who kind of travels around the U.S. doing different trains stuff like that.
Mhm.
And there's this term that the railroad community uses for people who are really into trains. It's called a foamer. That's the term they use, as a foamer. I don't know
Mhm.
where they got that term from, but she's definitely not a train foamer. She's like some like influencer who just happens to be like standing near a train. It would have been kind of funny if it had been an actual train foamer who like had like geeky stats about the train, and stuff like that.
Because I kind of like that character. I didn't want her to
Yeah.
pass away. I guess she did, but
No, no. I mean, I
I,
mean that's the thing too, right? Is that when she dies, when she gets killed, we realize we're in some kind of werewolf slasher movie. Like we don't
you're
know
right.
it to that point, and that's
Didn't
like
know that.
20,
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes in that we find out like, oh, hey, you're in the, because the guy looks like Jared Leto from Morbius, right? When the werewolf.
I knew. I see. I haven't seen Morbius, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen what he looks like in
You
that
see the
movie.
commercial? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think you would dig Morbius. I
I
think
need to
you'd get a
watch
kick
it.
out of it. Yeah, I think you'd enjoy. I mean, it's got some goofiness. It's one of those. It's not as good as Madam Web in terms of like a fun
Okay,
watch.
I love my Madam Web.
Yeah, it's not as fun as that as far as a fun watch goes, but I think you'd get a kick out of it.
And then I have two other things I want to mention, which is let's
Yeah.
talk about Tito.
Yes, we got to get into
As
Tito with the
Tito as
accent.
Marco.
Yeah.
He only had to wait 16 minutes. Like that wasn't that too long.
Right.
I did a
Exactly.
Tito. I did a Tito watch,
Yeah.
but it's yeah. Let's talk about a southern accent. Crazy's out here tonight. It's like
Right. Exactly. Which nobody in that part of Pennsylvania has that accent, but
yeah.
why not? You got to go with it when the movie's kind of
Now I wrote this in my notes. Also, maybe it was a joke note, but is there some guy named Robert Downer in it, or no? That might be one of my joke notes. It's
That's a
like
good question.
maybe not. Maybe it's one of my joke notes because it's like because I think we're lucky to have this Robert Bronzi guy that looks like Charles Bronson. It's like
Right.
what if we had a guy that looked like Dolph Lundgren or Stallone? Just look like him. And it's
Right.
like whenever it's like they don't. It's like the same thing. Like we just do it again. Just have other people. Maybe
So
there's a fake Robert Downey guy and his name's Robert Downer.
that would be awesome. That would be
It's like, oh,
awesome.
Robert Downer Jr. It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
It's like,
Exactly.
oh,
Yeah. There is a Stallone lookalike, and he does tours here in Philadelphia of
that's
like
hilarious.
Rocky stuff. He doesn't even look like Frank Stallone. Like I don't even know. Like I think he doesn't actually. I shouldn't say he's a Stallone lookalike. I think he wants to make himself look more like a Stallone
Uh,
lookalike. It's not like Bronzi. It's not that kind of thing.
oh, okay. It's like it's not
Yeah.
even like even that close. It's just like
Right. Right. Exactly.
maybe like from a Stallone from far away kind of thing.
Right. Right.
Like,
Exactly.
um, but then I've you kind of cared about the movie, but I kind of liked it because it feels like two different movies, and it felt a little bit in the middle. And also, I did like the part is I'm a cop, not an animal. It's like at towards
Right.
the end, it's like very
Yes.
Elephant Man, is he? It's just
Yeah.
like I think Bronzy watched the Elephant Man.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
People
I
say
mean.
it's David Lynch's best work, or is it probably just Twin Peaks? But it's like I wish
Yeah.
David Lynch. I know he's gone, but his voice is always interesting to hear. It's like
Yes. Yeah.
you ever see? I see that when I do my scrolls before he died, he always had clips of David Lynch. Anyway, or after he died, he had a bunch of clips of him, and it's like his voice. It's so
Hmm.
funny. I don't.
Yeah. He
I went
was.
to the
Oh.
big boy, had some coffee. It's
Right.
like,
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
I
Yeah.
gotta love it.
I saw him. So I watched the Duran Duran concert movie.
Oh, it's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does like an opening thing for that, and I couldn't get a shot because it was like I mean I finally just took a shot like the best I could because like the screen's kind of going all over the place. But
Right. Right.
he's like yeah maybe we'll have some happy accidents, and it was hilarious.
Because some of his movies, I think we talked about this before when he died, kind of like secret action movies. I
Yes,
mean,
yeah,
like Wild at Heart, Lost Highway. I mean, like, um, can't think of other movies right now, but those two in particular.
Yeah.
But it's like interesting. I wish he made like a full on action movie, but he's too. Twin Peaks Fire Walker Man. I think that has something. I'm trying
Yeah.
to, oh, did you like the new one? I hate this. I hate to say it's almost 10 years old, but it is.
Yeah.
That newer show,
Which
the
from
Twin Peaks: The Return.
oh right, yes, I didn't really see it, but I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
you didn't watch it yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's that classic David Lynch style. We're like, what the heck is going on? And
Right.
I used up all my brain power at the time to figure out what was going on. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, then I ran out of brain power and I
Right.
had to recharge.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, I remember recharging my brain after. It's like, okay, I
Yeah.
just have to wait for the smarts to come back.
Right. Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
um, but yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I think I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to mention about it too, because
please,
I enjoyed it too. I had a fun time with it as well. So the movie takes place, it mentions about like Pocono County and some of those areas, but it mentions Centralia. Now Centralia is this town in that kind of in that area that it was is a mining town for the longest time. It mined anthracite coal, and it was like kind of a big town. I think it got up to like 60,000 people. But the coal in the mines caught on fire, and
oh,
essentially the entire town, like they couldn't put the fire out, so it's just flaming underneath the town. So they started offering people the ability to leave, and so Tito Ortiz's character is supposed to be living in Centralia, and he says like, "Oh, everybody else has left at this point." There's a really cool documentary that was done on kind of the ends of that time, but you can go there. They don't recommend you go there. I've never been, but
dangerous.
I mean, you could be walking on ground that would fall apart underneath you. That's essentially it's that volatile in that area. But yeah, I mean, every time somebody moves out, they tear their house down, and so it's like very little left there. But they do mention Centralia in the movie, and so yeah, so it's a cool thing if people want to check it out. It's a not the actual town, but the documentary that they made about it.
And it's
It's
called
really
Centralia.
I don't know what the documentary is called. That's a good question. I don't
That's a cool
remember. I
name
should
for a
probably
documentary.
yeah, I should have probably looked it up. I should have
That's
probably
okay.
yeah. Um,
You can
but
look
it
it up
so,
now. I can vamp about Bronzi or something.
yeah. So it was so like they follow like kind of the people that are still there. Okay, there we go. I think it's the town that was. That might be what it is.
Oh,
Oh
that
yes,
makes
yeah,
sense.
the town that was. That's what it's called.
Okay.
So it because they follow this guy who like stayed living there. I don't even know if he actually still um lived in the town, but he was like there, like taking care of it and stuff. It's a fascinating thing. It's it it is definitely something worth checking out. Like people definitely should check it out because
Is that on a streamer of some sort? I mean, like,
that's what I was seeing. I think it was. I think it's. Oh, I think you can rent. It might be a rent though. That's the only thing.
oh, rent. Okay, not to be
Yeah.
cheapo, but
Yeah,
uh,
so it follows this one guy, John Lokitis, who is like the youngest. He's like he's listed as the youngest of the remaining 11 residents, but he's like already in like his late 30s. So yeah, it is a fun documentary. So for some reason IMDb is taking forever to load on here. So Fandor has it. I don't know what Fandor is,
I know there's
but
Fossum. I see Fossum hanging around a lot.
yeah, this is like some kind of Prime channel or something. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, if you look for the town that was, it came out in '07. So actually, it's been
Wow.
almost 20 years since the
My
documentary came out.
goodness.
So I think that guy doesn't live there. I think it's down to maybe 3 people who live there now, like they were saying in the movie. So yeah, so really kind of cool fact in this movie that they actually they use that place, they shoot it because this movie is shot at 12 to midnight. It is shot in that part of Pennsylvania. I've never really been there. A few other things that like they show the train, those kids riding on a train. That's like a tourist train. There is no actual train that connects anything outside of like from Philadelphia across to Pittsburgh. And even that train only runs once a day. And then there's a train that goes from Philadelphia to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania that runs a little bit more frequently. It goes up to New York. But there's really no train service so like the girl who gets a train from college to go back and visit her mom. Yeah, that doesn't really exist. It's a tourist train that they were using
Right.
for that in this movie. So but yeah, that's kind of all I have. But I enjoyed this one too. I thought this was
Yeah,
a
I like
fun
that.
one.
It was enjoyable. And I'm just thinking of some other titles that could work for the next Bronte movie. Like
Yeah.
it'd be like some of the mechanic, it'd be like the Grease Monkey or something.
Yes, right,
It's
right.
like you know, it's all that's the only one I thought of. Like Death Wish or Death Kiss 4, the Back Down or the Smackdown or
Yes.
something.
What
So
was so instead of Murphy's Law, could you do like um Marty's Law or something like
Marty's
that.
Law, or Martin's Law, and
Martin's
fucking
Law.
Bronzi's
Yeah.
Law.
Yeah, Bronzi's Law. Yes.
He
Yeah.
wants to use his name, just like
Yeah, that's got to be the next one. That's got it got right because the fact we don't have a Murphy's Law yet is we need a
it must be
Murphy's Law.
coming soon. I mean,
Yeah,
so that could be the next one for Bronzi, and I probably would
yeah,
watch on Xumo. It's like
yeah. Right.
anything Bronzi makes, I will watch. I need to catch up on a
Yes.
couple more Bronzis.
Same here. There's an Exorcist he does.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah,
don't remember the title, but yeah,
Exorcist Vengeance is what it's called. Yeah,
yeah,
so I'm looking it up here. That's got to be a trip.
that's gonna be funny. It's like
Yeah.
the Diet Case compels you. I'd be like, or it's like I could throw in jokes for doing.
Right. Exactly. What was it? What was the one that Hard Times? Right? Was that the one that Bronson where he's like a
Yes,
street fighter?
I think he's a punch fighter in the
Punch fighter. That could be an interesting one, right? If they did a version
yeah.
of where he's a punch fighter. I mean, Ortiz, you could bring Tito Ortiz back.
Perfect. He's always a punch fighter. He could punch
Yeah.
fight, or he could be like the half villain or something.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he's in. That's what he's in this movie. He's more of a red herring. But it's nice to see
Yeah.
Tito Ortiz. I love that he's making these garbages.
Yeah.
Just keep
Yeah.
making them, and let's bring back Cyborg. Let's just
Yeah.
when is
Chris,
Fight Valley 2 coming out?
well, because that's one of the things about Operation Black Operations is when he has the fight with Chris Cyborg and all they're doing is trying to grapple each other, right?
I know it's so ridiculous.
And it's like in this movie, he Bronzi shows up and he's like swinging, he's like punching, trying to punch him, and he keeps missing him. It would have been kind of funny if the two of them were grappling instead, if they're just sort of like grabbing at each other.
He's the new Chris Cyborg. Is
Right.
Bronzi.
Yeah. Oh my God, Chris Cyborg as Bronzi's stunt double would have been beautiful.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Or Chris Cyborg as Bronzi's daughter in the next movie.
Yes. Oh, we need yes.
My goodness.
Give us that. Everybody who's listening to this right now, Bronzi, Cyborg, Tito Ortiz, just give us that movie, please.
Yes, and we're so close. We always have one or the other. We need all three. It's like
we need all three. We need it. Yeah, and have them sit at somebody's house and call it a cafe. Just do that scene once. Yeah.
And have no sound.
Right.
It's like
yeah, exactly. Well, I guess should we do our spotlight on a fight?
Yes, we should.
So our spotlight on a fight, we are doing the end fight with Mel Gibson as Stone Banks and Stallone's Barney Ross in the third Expendables movie. Now, I mean, again, this is a movie that is it starts off really great when they rescue Wesley Snipes, and then suddenly they just like park all of these people for a huge chunk of the movie.
Yeah, huge parking. It's like there's more parking than like Monopoly.
Right.
With free parking.
Oh, this is definitely like this is like when you're playing with somebody and they have all kinds of rules around free parking, right? That's what this movie is, right? It's like all and it's like you find out half of them while you're playing, and you're like, did you just make that rule up? Yeah. Free parking, you get Kellen Lutz. That's what.
Free parking. I got club balls.
Exactly. Which, that's the kind of the funniest thing about this movie is that probably the biggest star now out of this movie is Glenn Powell, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Hitman. I did see Twisters, by the way.
You did? How was that?
Oh, I didn't watch it. It could have been better. I mean, like all they do is chase trains and go woo.
Yeah. I thought that was my thinking.
Just they had a germ of an idea, which is like there's like the most mildly evil person.
Yeah.
Saying, well, we need this tornado to destroy the town. It's like, okay, you have something there.
Yeah.
But how about this? Here's my idea. You have a villain has like a device that has tornadoes that shoots tornadoes at things and destroys towns. And then Glenn Powell fights the guy at the end in a tornado.
Right. That would have been awesome.
While the country music plays by Jelly Roll or Jellyfish or whatever.
Oh, they have Jelly Roll music in this. Oh,
I think so. Yeah, I think it's Jelly Roll or what's his name, Luke Bryan or
man. Gentleman. Okay, that just makes it even worse. If I'm doing a movie like Twister, give me some hair metal. Give me.
I know.
I was at a hockey game. I was at a Flyers game the other night, and they were playing "Round and Round" by Rat. That's a perfect Twister song, isn't it?
Exactly. That's all Twisters do.
Round and round. Yeah.
It's perfect.
I mean,
it's funny. Yeah, it's so funny. It's all country music. It's like 99 to 100%.
Oh God, that's that's
and
rough.
You don't exactly care because there's not many stakes. Yeah, there's a tornado coming, but
right.
It's just like, and they go into like a movie theater for cover, but that's all you got. It's more of a disaster kind of movie. But you could have done a little bit more of it.
Yeah, we
Maybe
just.
because I don't really like the original Twister. I know that's a controversial opinion. Maybe I need to rewatch it, but
I don't
at
know
the
that
time I didn't like it.
it's I don't know. We could say it's controversial. I think on the other hand, it's also kind of a thing where it's like because Twister became one of those TNT new classics.
Yep.
I think it got a better reputation. Shawshank is another one that I think is like that.
That got bumped up. It all
Yeah,
got bumped up by TNT.
Armageddon.
Armageddon. That's a very dumb movie, but I
Yeah,
guess it's fun enough.
TNT new classic. It's just it's on all the time, and so people started to like those movies. Yeah, it definitely affected what people thought of them.
That's
For
true.
sure.
Con Air, but Con Air is an automatic classic.
Con Air
Like
is different. Yeah, Con Air
yeah,
I put in a different category.
yeah.
That's
Con
just
Air
yeah,
is fantastic.
yeah, exactly.
Can't
Yeah,
help but wonder. Well, that's country music, right? It's a Leanne Rives. How do I live without you?
oh, you're right.
I
Yes, that's right.
want to know.
That's right. That's right. It was
Yeah.
like a country pop song. It was like when country
Yeah.
singers were first starting to do pop kind of songs.
And then he finally gets back to that Monica Potter, or Monica
Yes.
looks like Julia Roberts Potter,
Right.
and then like
Yes.
it's a lot, and then there you go. And John Malkovich has that weird death. It's like,
Yes.
why did John Malkovich fly 4,000 feet in the air and get like killed by like an anvil machine? It's
Yeah.
just like I heard that even the writers like that's a little dumb. It's like,
But they went with it. They went with it. They were
it's like sure, go
yeah.
ahead. So, I mean
Like
that, but that was yeah, Twister. Yeah, I don't. It's a 2.5 2.5 star movie. You could have done more with the premise.
yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, back to the movie. Yes, good plot. Okay, so
Well,
go
yeah.
ahead.
So what's happening here is Glenn Powell has set the place to blow up. So Stonebanks and his crew, they're like in this abandoned like building thing,
Yeah,
and then what happens is after they park our heroes, they give them the free parking. They come back to try to rescue everybody in it. So we have like the younger Expendables, Kellen Lutz, Glenn Powell, Ronda Rousey. They get captured, and the old Expendables have to rescue them. So we get Statham, Jet Li, Antonio Banderas,
right.
etc. So we get this whole big finale thing, which the finale is pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's actually very entertaining.
Yeah, and with this finale, we get the final fight between Conrad Stonebanks, who's the baddie played by Mel Gibson, and then the hero Stallone. Now, the thing is, right, this time Mel Gibson, he was kind of doing this sort of redemption tour by playing baddies because he was the baddie in this, he's the baddie in Machete 2. I think he was trying to angle his way to get into being a baddie in a Marvel movie, but it was never going to fly. He's just got too many bad skeletons in that closet there. He's got to find yourself into a Kevin Dillon bonded media.
And what he did with the classic hot seat.
Exactly. But so Stallone's like, okay, I got to get out of here. But as he's trying to escape, Stonebanks finds him and shoots him. Shoots him in the chest, and so
leaving so soon. Let's finish this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Stonebanks says.
Yeah. So he's got Stallone at gunpoint because even though he was just shot, he's just injured. He's got Stallone. Barney Ross has massive pecs, so it's going to take more than just a pistol shot to take him down.
That's true. Yeah.
So he gets up and Mel Gibson's got him at gunpoint. He's like, he wants him to kind of just take all of his guns and disarm. So he's like pulling off all these weapons and stuff like that. And finally, he's sufficiently disarmed. And Gibson says, or Stonebanks says, "Well, I don't need this anymore, right?" And he throws his gun aside as well.
We don't need this, do we?
No, exactly. So now the two of them start fighting, and it's like Stonebanks. Obviously there's a double who's doing his moves, but he's doing more martial arts kind of stuff, whereas Stallone is doing like uppercuts and like Rocky like punches and boxing stuff.
It's kind of funny. It's
Yeah.
like, it doesn't really match well, but it's still fun to watch.
Yeah. So it's a good enough fight between these two guys that it's satisfying enough with Stonebanks being who he is to have Stallone fight him. I mean, I don't think it's as good necessarily as the one between him and Van Damme in the previous movie, but if I'm getting a Mel Gibson Stallone fight, this does well enough.
This is pretty good. I mean, like I think in the fight that we have talked about for Expendables, I think obviously Van Damme's number one.
Yes.
Then Stonebanks, then Steve Austin.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Now I'm trying to think how it ends because I just watched it before we watched this, and I
they they fight, but they're running out of time because Harrison Ford says, "Come on, Barney."
Right, right, right. Yeah, because they're at the helicopter and they're like,
Yeah.
you got to get out of there. And Powell's like, I only got, it's counting down. He's got the.
It's funny to see him when there's the garbage, but even he said, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was kind of making fun of it too. But it's like, but yeah, he doesn't really do much anyway in the movie called Powell. But
No,
Harrison Ford
he's the computer guy who.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of this whole joke about how these old guys don't know how to use computers, and here's
that was
this
like
young guy.
most of the subplot of the third one's like, "Hey, Dov, I don't know how to use email."
Right.
Exactly. What is email? It's like, what is AOL Instant Messenger? It's like, or what else do they use that's old that they would know? Like, I think I heard of AIM.
Right.
It's like, but I usually just aim my gun at people. It's that AIM. It's
right. Like, what is it? The jitterbug phone? That's like the flip phone with the big numbers. Like,
yes, is that what he has?
I don't know. Like that's kind of what what they're angling
yeah, that's
for.
picturing. It's like
right.
I actually still use a Garfield phone,
right.
but it's like I use that phone that looks like it's inside out.
right.
But yeah, so then at the end, right, they're fighting, and then Stallone gets the upper hand on Stone Banks, obviously.
Right. He finally is able to it's one of those things that it's kind of like almost like a gradual thing where it's like Stonebanks is dominating and then Stallone gets some punches in, and then as he gets punches in, he kind of can get him more.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they scramble to get their guns, and then Stallone then Gibson said, "Well, what about the Hague?" Like,
that's right. That's how it ends. That's the best, right? Because it's like because that's the one thing about this one Expendables is they still do the callbacks to other movies these guys did. Yeah. And so Mel Gibson's like, well, what about the Hague when he's got him at gunpoint? And Stallone goes, I am the Hague.
It's just like I am the law. That's
right.
perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
And then of course Amanda Santi, when you saw Judge Dredd, law.
Yes. God, he was so great in that. That's
one of his best roles besides Gotti, of course.
Yes.
I want let's bring it back. Amanda. It must be still with us, obviously. Let's get him in a nice
Diamond Cartel.
Role what's that?
He was in Diamond Cartel, so.
Well, yeah, that was a weird movie. Remember, he was all shaky for no reason.
Yes.
What the heck was that? And of course, Tito Ortiz's best work since Lawrence of Arabia.
Right.
Actually, better than Lawrence of Arabia.
And you could watch that movie twice and still not be done with Lawrence. It'd still be out before. Yeah. The end.
What's good about Lawrence of Arabia? I think I mentioned before. First, it's a high quality movie, obviously.
Oh yes,
It moves like a freaking bullet for a movie that has an intermission.
Yes,
you get right to Arabia. It's like boom, he's in Arabia.
Yeah,
that. You think a movie like that would not? It would take forever.
Yeah,
this is not a good comparison at all. But I watched the movie today called The Lost Angel. It has Judd Nelson and C. Thomas Howell, John Rhys Davies, and Allison Eastwood.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know if you've ever seen any Allison Eastwood material. But first of all, the movie is horribly paced. That's why I'm thinking of it.
Right.
It moved 90 minutes, and it felt like 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, and Allison Eastwood is so wooden. It was hilarious. It's like, I must find. I can't even do it. It's like,
right.
The killer is coming. It's like, oh, I can't even do it. You got to watch it. Maybe there's a trailer online. You can hear her talk.
I can check it out. Yeah.
It's not a great movie, by the way, because it's horribly paced.
It's funny. I always tell this story. Going back to Lawrence of Arabia, I always tell this story about when my buddy and I saw it in the theater here in 2019. It was playing, like some kind of anniversary or something, and we knew there was an intermission, and we both got the largest soda that comes with the free refill. So during the intermission, we both had about half of our soda left, and he was like, "Well, I'm getting the free refill," and he dumped his. And I was like, no, I still got half my soda left. I'm just going to finish my soda. Well, I was done. I was out of soda at the end of the movie, and I was like thirsty with all the popcorn and stuff. It was like a total pro move. So if you're ever in a situation where you're watching a movie that has an intermission and you get the large soda that has the free refill, do it. Dump out whatever you got left. Yeah, refill. Get the refill. It's the smart move. So
that's perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was a quality fight scene. I'm hoping, and that's the end of Spelling Out a Fight. I mean, it was a good fight, though. Quality fight.
For a movie that wasn't as good as it should have been, the fight scene, at least, and a lot of times movies that aren't as good as they should be, when they have a good ending, you come out of it going, okay, I like that. So it
Exactly.
shows you how bad that middle of that movie was, that you still remember how
That's a
bad it was.
great point, because I actually
Yeah.
kind of like some of the but oh, that's right. That I never seen such a drag in the middle in a
Right.
long time. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer, he doesn't even shoot anyone.
Right.
It's
Why do we have Kelsey? How did that happen? Right. Frasier.
I wish Fraser shot people, but I don't. You gotta watch Money Plane. I know
Yes, I do. I
it's
need to see
so
that one.
it's hilariously terrible. It's Kelsey Grammer at his absolute best. It really
Right.
is. And then Thomas Jane at his absolute worst.
Yeah.
And it's like he remember how lazy he was in Vendetta?
Oh yes. Yeah.
He's just doing that again in this movie.
Okay.
But maybe
All
even
right.
lazier. And Joey Lawrence at his absolute best too. But
Yeah.
his hair alone, I think you'll fall off your chair.
Okay. All right. Then I got it. Yeah.
I've
I've been meaning
Joey
to do
Lawrence.
Money Plane for years, so I got to just do it.
Did I send you a picture of Joey Lawrence's hair? I think I did.
I think you might.
I think I did. I remember that now.
Because I think I had brought up Money Plane as a potential one for us to watch, but you had seen it so far, so
I'm
we
willing to
scrapped
rewatch it again. Yeah, I think
Well,
we
no,
got the back.
it's probably better for me to watch it before our next time we record, and then I can bring it up like, hey, what have we been watching lately? So
Right, you can do
I
it
can
that
mention
way.
that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that's a good segue into what the next movies are.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of Stallone, we're looking to do Armor, and then
it also has my semi-enemy Jason Patrick.
right, exactly.
Which I guess I can explain that now or wait till the next episode. But people are listening to what we say.
Right.
If you're new, it's like, well, I guess I met him at Horror Fest in 2024. And to say he wasn't the nicest guy. So that's always my semi-enemy.
Well, and it wasn't just to you, right? Because like your friend Ant, didn't he sign some Lost Boys stuff and sign like over the pictures of
he signed faces? Like over like Corey Haim or something. It's like, no.
Yeah.
He's just probably doing this as quickly as possible. He's not talking to people. He was just sitting there a long time though, because I kept an eye on Jason Patrick while I was there. Because it wasn't as busy at certain parts.
Yeah.
Like first he was just sitting there like a goof. It was just like you freaking goof. When we got there, he was just sitting there like a goof. And just like, and then I just kept an eye like, no one's at your table. I'm watching you. And just like, so I think I sent you that faraway picture of Jason.
Oh yes, you did. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was perfect. That.
Then I guess he took a break. He had some coffee or something because I saw him walking around the area.
Yeah,
but I was kind of making fun of him to other people. It's like this factor a lot. But like I said, Billy Wirth was amazing. He was hilarious. But he's in some weird movie of Billy Wirth, like The Fence or something. Remember this? Might be a prison action movie. I gotta look into that. But I was looking at Billy Wirth for some reason. I don't know why. But I guess so we have Armor, which Jason Patrick and what's the other? Oh, Dylan Sprouts in Aftermath. Dylan Sprout.
Yes, Dylan Sprouts, which is on it's on Netflix. So
it's easy to watch.
Doing some Netflix there, and I think this could be an interesting one. I
don't
think we've done a Netflix movie yet. Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't think we've done a Netflix movie yet. So I don't think
so. No.
Usually... Well, most of the time they're long, and I mean this one's a little bit. It's 97 minutes. So that's not horrible.
That's not terrible. It's probably about 92 of creds.
Right. Well, not only do they have credits, but they also have the foreign language credits that take up another 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I usually see that when you fast forward, like here's the dubbing.
Right, exactly. The funny thing about this movie too, Aftermath, is that it has 79 user reviews, but only 7 critic reviews. Yeah, so this is gonna be fun. But Chris the Brain from Bulletproof is one of the reviews.
So, what did he say? Do you know what he said?
Let's see. Now I should mention he also did Taken from Rio Bravo. And did you notice in the credits, Bulletproof got a thank you in so
that's amazing.
Yeah, so they must have reached out to him ahead of time because his one thing that he said that I did agree with is that I think Nevsky is kind of a fun hero, but we just needed more of him. We needed more,
I mean, like he's nice to see. He just needs to find like this maybe script that's a little bit better work. That's all. I like Nevsky. It's kind of fun to watch.
So here's what we got from him is it says, allow me to reinforce my strong love of it's of the bonus bullet points. Okay, so I thought he was gonna say strong love of the movie. So I was gonna say
strong love of Nevsky, like you do.
Yes, it seems like he does. He says, okay, so Chris, he said it's an easy, action-packed, tension-filled watch. One I expect will find an audience at Netflix as the online chatter grows. So, yeah, so this is. It sounds like this is going to be a fun one for us. So now, because Armor, as we're talking about this, Will from Exploding Helicopter, which apparently this movie has an exploding helicopter in Aftermath.
Oh wow,
But
awesome.
Armor, Will did not have. He said, I think his exact words were, "If Stallone made a worse movie, I haven't seen it."
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, so we could be going up and down here. This could be an interesting episode next month.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch. I'm gonna probably
Yeah.
maybe watch one of them or even both. Not tonight, maybe one. It's
Yeah.
getting late. But
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're getting late, but fortunately, when you get a movie on Netflix, it usually stays on Netflix for a while.
That's true, and that just hit the flicks.
Yeah.
Aftermath.
Yeah, so
Also,
Armor I probably should get to sooner myself because I have a feeling.
Tubi.
Yeah, you don't know Stallone on Tubi. You don't know what's going to happen there.
Well, that's the thing. That's funny. It's not like on a Tubi. It's a great channel and all, but it's kind of funny. It's on Tubi. It's like,
right.
It's like maybe it's made for Tubi in a way.
I don't know if it was initially on Amazon maybe, and then it didn't last long on
It was just
Amazon.
on demand for a long time. Armor.
That's right.
And it never hit. And sure, then went to Tubi. It seemed like Randall Scandal must have a deal with Tubi or something or Hulu.
I thought he had to deal with Hulu because we see a lot of things on there, right? Like a lot of the Switch Midnight and the Switchgrass or whatever, Gasoline Alley.
Gasoline Alley, which they recommend to us for like 15 years.
Every time you watch a movie on there, at the end, it's like, hey, do you want to watch Gasoline Alley? No,
it's like, I already did, but I love it so I'll watch it again.
Right, exactly, right. Or if you're not paying attention, suddenly Gasoline Alley fires up and you're like,
I know.
Is this movie still going? I thought the credits were on. Oh, it's not that movie. It's Gasoline Alley. It's a different
What's funny, like you're watching Gasoline Alley, then it comes up again. You watch Gasoline Alley again, and then again, and again.
Yes, exactly.
It's like just keep watching it over and over and over.
Exactly. Well, on that note, Ty, anything that you wanted to plug while we're up?
What do I plug usually? All right, ComeuppанceReviews.net is the website, and it's on Facebook under the website name, as I always say. Ty Comeuppance on the Twitter X, Ty Action Rocks is the Instagram handle. Usually find me hanging around there, scrolling. But I haven't posted anything really recently. I posted Over the Top, the VHS. Speaking of Stallone,
yes,
it was the last tape I posted. And I'm just been a little lazy watching tapes, so I'll get to them.
I think I might have missed Over the Top. It might have been a Wash and Cat videos. I'm going to have to go directly to your page and see if I missed it.
That one.
Give it a like.
I think I did Dance of Death, the one previously. It has our idea. Who's it? I can't think of his name. Martin Mull. So it's like Martin Mull and like a stripteaser knockoff movie, and Lisa Kudrow. It's in the early 90s. So Lisa Kudrow, she's made some mild garbagey things in the beginning, but she wasn't in it much. I actually need more Lisa Kudrow.
I just went to your site and I did like Over the Top. So
you did, okay. Yeah, I'll post something soon. I'm a little slow at watching tapes lately because I've been watching TV and Daredevils and and stuff, and I'll get to them.
Yeah,
don't worry, I haven't forgotten to put post tapes.
Yeah, no, exactly. And people can find the link to your site in the podcast description. So at least,
great.
And I think, one of the things about your site, even though if you're not posting new reviews,
we posted Soldier's Fortune. We're posting a new movie soon. Actually, we watched Extreme Force.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so depending on when this episode goes up, it may have already gone up, or but. Definitely. Check the check that site. The link is in the podcast description for Comeuppance Reviews.
Check the site soon. Should be Extreme Force should be up this week or next week.
Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely then that'll definitely be after this episode airs.
It'll be up because Brett's probably writing the review as we speak, and then I'll post it. Yeah. So Extreme Force was Hector Davaria, one of the earlier roles.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It got better as it went along. Miko Kesey.
Right. Oh yes.
It was kind of slow going in the first half, and then it picked up. Yeah. So we liked it enough.
Yeah, well, excellent. Well, definitely people should look for that.
No, thanks for saying that, because I forgot.
One of the things I find is like when I'm going for like a something between like that sweet spot of like the late 80s to the early 90s, especially if it's rare. If I go on IMDb, a lot of times you guys are the only review that I recognize. It'll be like maybe 3 reviews and it'll be a Comeuppance one. So it's like when I try to do when I look at the to get a sense of the movie, I'll kind of skim the review. Like I'll look for the stars. That's usually the first thing, is like how many stars you guys gave it, or bits, right? Because I guess
Yeah,
stars is copyrighted.
You
Yeah,
listen back to the pod, I say.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll skip usually the first couple paragraphs if I haven't seen the movie yet, and so I don't do and I'll kind of just read like you guys' thoughts on it, and you get a sense of like, okay, is this one that I want to do or not? I mean, but sometimes too, it's like I'll just review it anyway, and then just mention that you guys covered it. But sometimes I'll watch the movie if I know I'm going to review it, and then read what you guys thought and be like, is there anything that I missed in there? Yeah, and I'll maybe mention like, oh yeah, the guys who come up and said this or that. But you guys like you have so many posts, but like that sweet spot era in particular for people like going on like YouTube or looking at low budget stuff on Tubi, stuff like that. Go on IMDb and see the critic reviews, and there's a good chance that you guys are like,
it might be on there. I mean,
yeah.
I think, like I say, Puss Soldier's Fortune has Gil Gerard.
Yes.
And that made reviews on that one. It took a long time to actually procure that videotape.
Right, yeah.
Did I post it on Instagram? I think I did. But because it's running out of tapes. But when I'm not running out of tape. I'm just running out of. I need to make the time.
Running out of right. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too.
Plus tapes to watch.
Yeah. Well, because the other thing about it too, I will say, when it comes to the reviews, is that there's like, you're like, okay, I got to watch something for a review, but then it's like you start scrolling and you're like, watch this TV show that I haven't seen in a while. Let me just do one episode, and one episode turns into 5, and then the next thing you know, it's the weekend, and you're like, I haven't watched anything to review yet.
Yes, that's so true. That is the definition of truth.
Right. And a lot of times, what I do is I go back into these movies that we've covered. These 2 movie episodes that we've done. I'll just pull a movie from there and just be like, okay, I'm going to review that one finally.
Did you review Pursuit?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
So I didn't get a chance to get images for it. So before.
That's right.
So I got to get images at some point before I get. Yeah. So some point it'll be back on. I'll get images for it and I'll be able to review it. So
I was trying to find a picture of John Cusack at his grill, but I only found him reading the newspaper.
No. I know. I was so mad because that's what I wanted for the social media was him on the grill. Yeah, and I just had to go with him, like, because that's the other thing about River Runs Red, the other movie. I know we're kind of going over time here, but
we're going over time a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but that River Runs Red one, he's barely in that, so it was hard to find a picture of him from that. I needed it from Pursuit, but Pursuit got taken down already. So
of course it did. It's like the new Gardner.
Yes,
but Gardner's still hanging around.
It is. It's finally hanging around. So maybe at some point Pursuit will finally be hanging around too. Yeah,
I hope so. I'll keep an eye on Pursuit again. Usually, once I watch, I had to delete it from the watch list. But I'll keep an eye on Pursuit.
Yeah, we'll see if it pops out for sure. Exactly.
But no problem. I'll let you go. Thanks again for having me on, by the way.
No, thank you again for coming on, Ty. It was another fun one here. It's fun, our mate, your first time doing Jitsi. But yeah,
I thought it was fairly easy. I got the app, and then there you go.
Yeah,
trust me, I don't like doing new apps. I'm a lazy man, but it's like
surprisingly
easy.
Yeah, it did the trick for sure. So yeah, but thank you for coming on. Thank you everybody for listening, and we'll be back soon. Bye everyone.
Bye bye.